place for the AFCON qualifiers, which is going to take place in March. So countries should be assured that the FA is working to ensure that we get a replacement.
I like his sacrifice a local good.
Anything can be possible.
I'm a fan of the
Oh, woman in my man. Yes.
I like a thing about what we be criticism.
I'm fan of Mukoti's question. I'm fan of Mukoti's question.
Oh, no more common on the cookies. I want to know Omuko, Burkina, and Africa. Omuko, Bujakasa.
Thank you.
Alaji Griza. All right, good morning. Welcome on board to your favorite Saturday sports show, dubbed Kickoff, live on your super station, Love 99.5 FM. My name is Stephen Zando. So today is Saturday, the 21st day of January 2023, and time check from the studios of Love FM. It is 90 minutes after 6 a.m. Welcome on board to Kickoff. So as expected, we're here to bring you the latest from the world of sports here in the country, on the continent, and of course across the globe as well. We'll commence the show with the major leagues in Europe. Chelsea will be up against Liverpool later today at 12:30 p.m. at the Anfield. That is going to be a big game later to the lunchtime kickoff actually in the English Premier League. That's a huge encounter coming up between two stragglers actually, between Liverpool and Chelsea at the Anfield Stadium. We are going to hear from both manager Jurgen Klopp of Liverpool and Graham Potter of Chelsea. What have they been saying ahead of this particular big encounter? Well, we are going to hear from them in a moment. But who wins this particular one? It's a big clash actually. Chelsea, Liverpool. Who wins this one? At 12:30 p.m. later today. Lunchtime kickoff in the English Premier League. There's another crunch encounter coming up tomorrow in the English Premier League at 4:30 p.m. Arsenal will welcome Manchester United to the Emirates. That game kickoff is 4:30 p.m. There is going to be live commentary on the super station Love 99.5 FM. Not forgetting that game between Chelsea and Liverpool later at 12:30 p.m. today. So it's going to be a long weekend full of sporting activity. We're here to bring you all the details in terms of sports across the globe. But for that game between Arsenal and Manchester United, are you aware that, Casemiro of Manchester United will be missing this one due to suspension, accumulated yellow cards? Is it going to be a big blow? Well, for me, it's a big blow already for Manchester United. Looking at what Casemiro brings on board for Manchester United. But, well, manager Erik ten Hag says he has the players to do the do tomorrow at the Emirates. Yeah, we look forward to that particular game at the Emirates. So kickoff is 4:30 p.m. in Spain. Barcelona will be up against Getafe in the Spanish La Liga. And of course, Athletic Bilbao will be playing against Real Madrid in there. Inaki Williams versus Real Madrid. I'll be keeping tabs on this particular one. We move on to the Italian Serie A. Bring you the latest. Juventus will be playing against Atalanta. Spezia will be up against AS Roma. Napoli will be away at Salernitana. So all these are the fixtures coming up. Some of the fixtures actually coming up in the Italian Serie A. But there's breaking news coming in from the end of Italian football. I will let you in a moment. The German Bundesliga returned yesterday. Leipzig drew 1-1 with Bayern Munich. We're going to bring you all the fixtures coming up this weekend in the German Bundesliga. In transfers, we've got something for you. Yeah. Noni Madueke. The DM is the Bruta. Noni Madueke has joined Chelsea. Yeah, Javier Clemente, Fifi Manfred, and Felix Adudaka will be here with all the latest on this particular transfer. He joins Chelsea for a fee in the region of £29 million. Also, yesterday, Arsenal completed the signing of Alejandro Trossard for £27 million. We've got the details for you. Around the world, breaking news, like I told you not too long ago, Juventus have been deducted 15 Serie A points for alleged financial irregularities and false accounting. Javier Clemente will be here to shed more light on this particular one. But the breaking news coming through in the past 6 hours is that Juventus have been deducted 15 solid Serie A points. What it means is that they will drop from 3rd spot to 10th spot in the Italian Serie A. Wow, Juventus. So you got the details for you. What does this development mean for Juventus? Details coming up. Are they going to appeal this decision? I will tell you more. Not forgetting their former sporting director Fabio Paratici. Paratici now works for Tottenham Hotspur, right? Yeah. So he has been banned for 30 months. We'll bring you all the details in a moment. So away from this one, we'll talk about the exhibition match that was played on Thursday. Yeah, the Riyadh season team were defeated against Paris Saint-Germain by 5 goals to 4. Anyway, but Cristiano Ronaldo scored twice. Messi was on the scoring sheet. So PSG won that game by 5 goals to 1. We'll bring you all the details. We do all this before we come to the local segment of the show, where we'll begin with the Chan tournament. Ghana Black Galaxies beat Sudan by 3 goals to 1 on Thursday to boost their qualification chance. Yes, in terms of qualification to the next stage. With that particular win over Sudan, Ghanaians are waiting for that last Group C encounter between Madagascar and Sudan. But I can tell you that I am really confident Ghana will qualify to the next stage of the competition. But I mean, based on the performance that you saw last Thursday in Constantine, are you confident the Black Galaxies of Ghana will be able to qualify to the final of this year's Chan tournament? That's the question, the first question that I'm asking you on today's edition of Kickoff. Are you confident that Ghana will be able to qualify to the final of the Chan tournament in Algeria, based on the performance you saw in Constantine last time out against Sudan? We've got the Chan details for you. Congo drew goalless with Niger yesterday. Angola also played a goalless draw with Mauritania in there. This weekend here in the Ghana Premier League, well, the Ghana Premier League takes a break, paving way for the FA Cup competition. We are at the run of 32 stage. And Accra Hearts of Oak will be playing against Dreams FC tomorrow at the Accra Sports Stadium. Here in Kumasi at the Babaya Sports Stadium, Asante Kotoko will be locking horns with Division 2 side Benab FC. Kickoff is 6 p.m. later today at the Babaya Sports Stadium. So that game will be played under floodlights. It is going to be an interesting game. I will be there to watch the game for myself. Get to see what the Division 2 side brings on board. Benab FC against Asante Kotoko. Wow. But on this particular one, I've got tickets to share. So keep your dials logged here on a super session Love 99.5 FM. I'll be sharing tickets for that particular clash between Benab FC and Asante Kotoko in the MTN FA Cup competition. Run of 32 stage. You got Great Olympics versus Legon Cities FC. National team news, and Kwesi Appiah says, hey, in fact, last weekend, I brought you this particular soundbite. Kwesi Appiah was asked whether he will apply for the Black Stars job if the Ghana Football Association opens application. And I tell you what, on Thursday, officially, Kwesi Appiah confirmed that he has indeed applied for the Black Stars coaching role, the vacant Black Stars coaching role. I've got the details for you. But the first question that I'm asking, the second question that I'm asking you on today's edition of Kickoff is that, do you think Kwesi Appiah is the right man for the job? Or let me put the question again. Are you expecting Kwesi Appiah to be given the job? Or let me put the question again. Should we bring back Kwesi Appiah to coach the Black Stars? That is the second question I'm asking you on today's edition of Kickoff. So Kwesi Appiah officially has applied for the Black Stars coaching job. Is he the right man for the job? We've got the details for you. My colleagues in the studio, Felix Adudakwa, Fifi Manfred and Javier Clemente. We've got a lowdown for you on all these issues on board. So thank you very much for joining me on today's edition of Kickoff. My name is Stephen Zando. The show is being produced by the man, Mr. Andy Adair. We are live on Facebook at LUV 99.5 FM and the fantastic gentleman, Joel Abi is in charge. Joel or Bojumo Bruta. So join us with your WhatsApp messages on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 995 055 1111 995. You're also live on Facebook at LEV 99.5 FM. So you can go there in our stream. Then you leave your comment in the stream. I'll be here to share your comments to the rest of the world. Once again, my name is Stephen Zando. Javier Clemente is seated. Felix Adilakwa is here. Eugene Osetutu is also in the studios of Love FM. Not forgetting our tactical analyst, Fifi Manfred. Yeah, the tactical analyst. Hey.
It's King Leo. The assist from the penalty kick recalls the great days of Johan Cruyff. Amazing, beautiful, magisterial Barcelona.
Radio on your superstation Love 99.5 FM. The program is Kickoff. We are on till 9 a.m. when we cross over to Joy 99.7 FM to bring you a news file. But for now, thank you very much for joining me for all the latest in the world of sports. Eugene Osetutu is seated. Eugene, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Zando. It's good to be here.
Yeah. I'm good. Javier Clemente is also seated. Javier, good morning. How are you doing? Oh no, but this no be ambush matter.
Good morning,
but Javier is in the studio.
Yes.
The most experienced, yeah. So yeah, Javier, thank you very much for coming on. But I hope you're fine.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, we thank God. Eugene, I don't know. Quick one. I know you will be going to Insure FM very, very soon for Kokran to me, right? But before that, let me give you like some few minutes, 2 minutes to have a bite on Liverpool versus Chelsea. Two stragglers actually for me in the English Premier League, set to lock horns with each other later at 12:30 p.m. Lunchtime kickoff at the Anfield Stadium.
But was that in your intro?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about your introduction. You asked me about Liverpool and Chelsea.
About Liverpool and Chelsea, that game was in my introduction.
Frankly, I'm expecting nothing from the game. This season, I've closed my mind to certain expectations of Liverpool.
You've tuned your mind and your heart.
I've tuned my mind up because I think that Jurgen Klopp has, Amphibious, that's how I see it. Because when you watch Liverpool, we are not that creative. The changing pressing is not working. We are not pressing enough. We are losing almost every second ball. Our defense is lethargic. Nothing is working. Matip is playing as if he's playing in an interco when he's on the pitch. Van Dijk comes with Mapuka kind of defending where he's always expecting people to throw their bodies.
But relax, Van Dijk. I mean, not so long ago, you got tagged him as the best defender ever in the history of the English Premier League.
I was not part of those people who did that. He's a good defender.
Yeah.
It will be unfair for me to say he's not. He's a good defender, but I think that we raised him beyond his capabilities. Let me put it that way.
Maybe the injury too affected him anyway.
Yes, but I think that unlike Chelsea, where this week I saw Kante coming back, I saw Regimes training, I saw Ben Chilwell training. Liverpool, most of our players are still at the hospital. This season, our players have spent more time at the hospital than on the pitch, and that has been our woes. Klopp is failing to do some signings which I do not understand. We need midfielders. If you look at Liverpool, for example, I do not understand why Milner should play more than 70 minutes.
Okay, so for you at Liverpool, it is not a case of the tactical prowess of Jurgen Klopp, but you need personnel on the field of play, like quality players.
It's a combination of both.
Because but it's the same Jurgen Klopp anyway.
No, you see, the signature of Klopp from Mainz to Dortmund to Liverpool has been about pressing. We don't press.
Maybe he doesn't have the personnel to do that.
That's to execute that. So if you don't have the personnel, what do you do? Liverpool is a top club. For me, it's the best club in England. The numbers and statistics show it. We are the best club in England.
Only one Premier League trophy in 30 years.
In totality, we
but
have.
That's a fact.
No, in totality, how many Premier League trophies do we have?
But when the Premier League.
Come on, you said one. It's a fact. You are right, but I'm also asking you, how many in totality do we have?
No, you
England?
can say that. You can say that.
How many?
I give you a fact. You can also give you a fact.
We have 6 Champions League. We have 19 league trophies.
I see.
So yes, the fact that we've won 1 in 30 years even shows you
when the proper Premier League started. That's what I mean.
No, you see, in the history of the English Premier League, yes, the Premier League era began 30 years ago. But in the entire history, the trophy that we've won have not been written off.
Oh, I see.
So it's on record that Liverpool has 19 league trophies. The only team that beat us in England is Manchester United with 20.
I see.
Right? In the Champions League, we won 6 champions. There's no English team that has ever even won 4 Champions League. Man U has 3. They are the closest, and they had Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, so they are 2.
So Liverpool is bigger than Man United.
Of course.
Okay, no, okay.
With no scintilla of doubt.
Okay, so back to
so I'm saying that if you're a big boy, you behave like a big boy. So if indeed you think that you do not have the personnel, as we are arguing, for them to do that pressing with no Liverpool for, you should get the personnel. I do not understand why club seems as if everything is fine. But we all know that everything is not fine. Everything has never been the same since Mane left.
Okay. All right, Gigi, thank you very much. That was a quick bite on Liverpool versus Chelsea. But Avi, I want you to take a listen to this one. I brought this sound bite last weekend when we had kickoff right here on the studios of Love 99.5 FM.
Once you are a coach, you are always a coach. If I sit here today and say, okay, I've resigned from coaching, then I will not be coaching any team again. No, once I've not come out and still coach, it's a matter of, do Ghanaians think that what I did before, or looking at the track records, they think they can get something out of me? Or I also think, okay, if given a chance, I can also bring something on board. And if they think it will help the nation in future, then so be it.
If the FA opens up for coaches to apply for the Black Stars coaching job, will you apply?
It depends on how they put it out there. If I think it's enticing, then automatically is.
But will you apply for the Black Stars coaching job? Yes, no.
Maybe.
Coach, yes, no.
Oh, if they put it out there, I'll apply.
So this was last weekend. Why are you laughing, Fifi? Anyway. Good morning.
Oh no, I just.
Oh, okay. So this was last weekend when our colleague with Joy Sports, Muftau Nabila, interviewed former Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah. Muftau actually asked him whether when the GFA opens up, the platform for people to apply, he will be in a position to apply for the vacant role at the Black Stars, and he said yes. Fast forward to Thursday, the breaking news that came through on Thursday is that Kwesi Appiah officially applied for the Black Stars coaching job. So on today's edition of Kickoff, we are asking you, Kwesi Appiah has applied for the Black Stars job. Do you want him back as Ghana coach? Javier Clement, a quick one. Good morning once again.
Yeah, good morning, Steve.
But were you surprised when you heard the news
that
Kwesi Appiah has officially applied for the Black Stars coaching job?
No.
Oh, okay.
I could have applied to.
Really? Yeah. But you're not a coach.
Who says anybody who applies for a job qualifies for the job?
No, but if you don't have the certificate, if you don't have the correct certification,
I've seen where employers will come up with a tall list of qualifications or some qualifying criteria before you can qualify for the job, and people still apply and they get it. So sometimes, I mean, in the case of application and things like that, I've always been telling people that some of the things are just put there to just scare some people, reduce the number of applications that they receive. So it's not about all the qualifications. Sometimes you put some big thing there so that at least can deter people from also applying, just so they can have some few applicants applying. So once it is put there, if you have about 1 or 2 qualifications out of maybe 6 that you want, you still can apply and you can get a job. So sometimes it happens like that.
So I asked you whether you were surprised when you heard the news that Kwesi Appiah has applied, because I mean, when his first stint with the Black Stars ended in a shambolic fashion, actually, after the World Cup in Brazil. The second one was in Egypt, 2019, when we played in the AFCON. I think that we exited the competition at the first round, right after the group stage. I think when we qualified to the last 16 stage, I have to cross-check that particular fact. So a lot of Ghanaians, including myself, were not expecting Coach Kwesi Appiah to, as it were, even make an intention clear that he wants to coach the Black Stars once again. So I was really surprised when I heard the news that he wants to coach the Black Stars again.
For me, I was not surprised. I was not surprised.
Okay.
Milo could have applied. Sika Akono could have done same.
Okay. Is he the right man for the job?
No. He's not.
Maele?
He's not, no.
He's a local coach. And he's the first Ghanaian to have qualified Ghana to the World Cup. That was a huge achievement back then.
But I don't see, given the circumstance that the Black Stars finds itself, I don't see him as the best man for the job. No, I don't.
Oh, really?
No.
But he has experience with the Black Stars.
That doesn't matter. Milo had an experience with the Black Stars. He came back and he flopped. So Sika Akono was a player for the Black Stars, captain for the Black Stars. He was given opportunity, and that he wasn't able to do the job. So it's not always about the experience or some relationship that you have with the Black Stars. It's about the quality that you also present. And for me, I think that Ghana we've moved on beyond the time of Kwesi Appiah. I don't know what he's been doing ever since he left the job as Black Stars manager, but I don't think that he's been very active. Active. I'm talking about in coaching circles. I don't think that he's been very active. Maybe he's been engaged in other jobs, other things other than coaching. But for me, if you ask me, where we are now, what we need is not Kwesi Appiah. No.
Where we are now, seeing the new players that have come.
Yeah, the players. Yes, the players.
You think Kwesi Appiah cannot coach them?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
The players and how football has also evolved to a certain level. Football has gone up. We've seen some of these new managers and what they brought to their teams. We've seen them and what they do to their teams anytime they are given opportunity to handle their teams. And for me, I think that we have moved on beyond Kwesi Appiah. Just like we moved on beyond some of the local coaches that we used to have. Okay, we've moved on. We should look elsewhere for somebody who has more quality. Did I say quality?
Why not? I mean, but quality matters actually. We need quality, not mediocre, not mediocrity.
More quality, somebody who is an achiever, somebody who can take us to the level that we want to take our football to, especially the Black Stars too. Because for me, if you ask me on any given day, I think that we have quality players. Some of our players most of our players are quality. But what we've lacked over the years is the direction. We've not been able to get a manager who will give us the right direction.
Okay.
Bring out the best out of the players that we have.
That's true.
So some of the players, even though they play for their club size and they give up their best, so they play some standard where they play for their club size. When they come to play for the Black Stars, we don't see that from them. Thomas Partey, for instance, is an example. I mean, we've talked about Partey several times. And when it comes to selection of players, we need somebody who is very, very, very firm and very, very bold, who can take that decision and say, these are the players that I want. And he will not be subject to any influence from any court or anything like that. So all those things are issues that you have to look at. It's only about what he has done, what he wants to do. It's also about the person's persona, what the person also presents. And I know for a fact that some coaches are such that you can't even approach them with anything about interference. There's no way you can even go to them with anything like interference. And I honestly, I don't see that in Kwesi Appiah. I'm very sorry.
So,
I don't see that.
Would you be surprised when he's given the job?
So surprised, yes.
Really?
Yes.
But we hear Kwesi Appiah is very connected politically in this country.
You see, that has been a bane for so many years now. We want to select a coach, even at the FA level.
Yeah.
We don't get competent people to interview the coach. We select people who themselves are not coaches, some administrators.
They say cronies,
who don't have any technical knowledge as far as coaching is concerned.
The last time it happened.
Yeah, they assemble to interview coaches. So, I mean, I've attended a lot of interviews, and sometimes at the interview, we look at the panel, and if you want to be an accountant, for instance, there are accountants there who ask you some accounting questions and some accounting. They will ask you. Those are the technical guys on the team who will ask you some questions relating to the job that you have applied for. But in our case, for instance, you go through the panel and maybe you find only one technical person on the list. The rest are mostly administrators. You get what I'm saying? So, of course, when it comes to interviewing, is the technical person given enough time to ask questions, or the administrators take over and maybe the technical person gets the opportunity to ask maybe one question, only two questions, and that is it. It's purely about getting the right people, even to consider the interview panel.
Okay.
And for me, we've not done that. Then beyond that is this political interference that you talked about. When it comes to the appointment of coaches, because our coaches are more or less paid by the state, the state has a certain influence in the appointment of coaches. Kwesi Appiah, for instance, benefited from that when President Kufuor was around, and subsequent to President Kufuor, when President Kufuor took over, he also benefited.
Exactly.
From that. You get what I'm saying?
And now he wants to benefit.
Yes.
From this
So it's about political interference and some benefits that somebody will derive from some association with a political party. And over the years, it has shown that it has not inured to our benefit, because I mean, when he came, you took us through his track record with the Black Stars. Not very impressive.
Yeah.
Not impressive at all. So we should move beyond that. And my problem always is that it's not as if we don't know what the problems are. We know what the problems are, and we know what the solutions are, but we are just not going the solutions way.
But I don't know, but can we take away, I mean, this political interference out of this context, knowing very well that the government virtually is the paying authority in terms of national team coaches? So if I am paying you,
who pays the piper cost?
Exactly. So if I'm going to be the paying authority, I need to have some level of influence in terms of who leads the national team.
You see, elsewhere, we sit here all the time and we talk about some of these European countries and what they do, and the successes that have accompanied what they do.
Yeah.
And if you go to some of these advanced countries where football is taken seriously, some of these things don't happen there.
As in government paying their national team coaches?
No.
Okay. Their football association?
Yeah, government even interfering with the appointment of national team coaches. And if you go to England, for instance, I don't think that the king will have any influence. The king will have any influence in the appointment of Gary Southgate or any person if Gary Southgate decides to resign or something like that. It's purely the FA who does that. If you go to Spain, if you go to Italy, they do that. Not because maybe the state does not fund the appointment of coaches or the state does not pay coaches, but they made a conscious effort to detach the FA from politics and make sure that at least, because if you have an FA with if the FA are competent in the sense that you have competent personnel there, then you should be able to trust them with taking some competent decisions. That's the point I'm making. You should be able to trust them to take some competent decisions. And for me, until we are able to do that, we'll continue to have problems. And it's well documented. It's something that we all know. It's something that we all know, that we've traveled that route for a very long time. And anytime we go there, we just bring call, we just come back. We don't succeed. So what is this thing about doing it again? Let the FA get quality people and panel quality people to interview those who have presented their applications. Select the best out of them. Take the person to the presidency.
Okay.
This is what we have selected. Or this man is, or this woman is what we have selected. He says he's going to take this at the end of every month. Can you afford? Yes, I can afford. The person goes and he does his job. Well, and I hear there are some very, very, very good names on the list.
Yeah, very, very good names.
Very good names on the list. And if we are very diligent, to the point, I think that we'll get to where we want to get to.
Okay, I think for me, it is the case of the government entrusting the Ghana Football Association that you are the appointing authority. Because, I mean, FIFA only recognizes the Football Association in terms of the administration of the Black Stars in this country. So, yes, the government may be the paying authority, but I think the government should trust the FA to us to competently give us a very, very, very good coach going for you. I'll come to you shortly. But
Zando, on that point, don't you think that if the GFA also positions itself to be a serious entity, the government will take them serious?
Yeah, that's it.
Because in life, respect is earned. My dealings with FIFA will determine the semblance or the level of respect you have for me.
Yeah.
So if you are the FA and almost everything you go cap in hand to the government, you cannot take initiative.
Maybe they don't have any solution, and that has been a practice since independence.
No,
but government fund the activities of national teams.
We like using a certain phrase: best practices. Best practices. What are the best practices? And I've told you that he who pays the piper calls the tune.
Yeah.
Right? So until you win yourself for some of these help, you will not be able to. We all saw how Otoado was literally appointed by Akufo-Addo through a phone call. It won't happen anywhere, any serious nation. That won't happen.
So what do you want the FA to do?
That's what I'm saying, that they should be innovative enough.
Okay, getting sponsors perhaps to...
Yes, and get themselves serious. We've seen even FA officials sometimes say that the government should come and sponsor the league. If you studied our budget, you've employed consultants to do a proper historical breakdown, financial breakdown of our budget since independence. you notice that you cry to the higher heavens. It won't happen because we do not even have the funds to do that. So you must package the league such that it's marketable, it's sellable, to get enough money to sponsor it. But if you are waiting for government, no ministry in Ghana gets even close to about 70% of their budgeted expenditure when it comes to appropriation. It doesn't happen. And football is at the lowest pecking order.
But so you see, I think it is not a bad idea when the FA wants the government to.
I've not said it's a bad idea. I'm saying
this based on what happened before we embarked on that trip to Qatar. Remember when President Akufo-Addo wanted corporate entities to come aboard and sponsor the Black Stars' trip to Qatar, right? I mean, he met all these top companies in this country. We could do the same thing. Now we want the Ghana Football Association to be virtually autonomous in terms of the activities of the national teams. So the president can lease discharge, make sure the FA gets sponsors to fund, the players, the coaches, and what have you. So then the Football Association becomes autonomous. It can happen.
Zando, how much did they raise? The target of $25
million for AFCON and World Cup.
Yes, how much did they raise?
The minister is here to account for that. So.
Exactly the point. So I'm saying that the FA is not serious. When they launched the National Cathedral, don't you know a short code, star 979? Can't anybody donate from anywhere across the world?
So what's your point?
No, so I'm saying that after the president gave them that momentum, build the momentum for them.
Okay.
The FA, you are the sports journalist. Did you see them leveraging that opportunity the president gave them to indeed get the money to sponsor the Black Stars? That's what I talk about, innovation and creativity.
Okay.
You are not doing it. We are one of the popular projects in this country, National Cathedral. It's Omomo. Yeah. Anybody can donate from anywhere. There's a bank account. When the president launched it, did you see any innovation? Even if our league, the league you and I watch on TV, have you seen any innovation to turn it into a viable, sellable product for corporate Ghana? Do you think any bank will come and put their money into some of these things?
Do you think Kwesi is the right man for the job?
Oh, Bama, I've said this on the morning show throughout this week.
This is kickoff. This is not the morning show.
If this country, we have respect for the people of Ghana, we have cognizance of history, we take critical look at data, Kwesi should not have the moral right. And you see, let's get the distinction. He's a Ghanaian. He wants to apply for it. He can even contest for the president. I don't care. But he doesn't have the moral right to even contemplate the thought of coming back as a Black Stars coach.
Why? He has coached the national team before. He has
not said he's
experience.
not done that. I'm saying that he doesn't have the moral right. And I'm saying this based on three things. The most disastrous and embarrassing moment of our Black Stars, he was the leader of the team.
Was he at fault?
I haven't said he's at fault. He said he's the leader of the team. Do you think if
the playing body? Actually.
No, I'm coming.
He was the leader of the playing body.
I'm coming. I'm saying that if you make certain defamatory comments about people and they take us to court and sue us, who bear the responsibility? Because you will call you.
Yeah.
Who would they call? Now I'm asking you a question. Who would they call? You are the host of the show, but they will call Apuzo because he's our leader. He's the program director. He's supposed to know everything that's happening.
But Kwesi was only the leader of the playing body.
And
he wasn't the leader of the Ghanaian contingent out there.
No, I'm coming. The agitation that happened, did it happen at the Ghanaian contingent or within the players and officials that are supposed to be?
I don't want us to focus on those details, but certainly what happened goes beyond.
You are dragging
beyond the coach.
No, I'm coming. You see,
players demanding for their winning bonus. How do you expect the coach to come in and then
the
settle
two
this
stints
matter?
of Kwesi Appiah? He never let me even forgo the first one. The second point, the two stints Kwesi Appiah came. He came in at the backdrop of political expediency,
especially the second one.
Especially we all know, and I'm saying that his win percentage is not to even 50% with the Black Stars.
Yeah,
right. When you look at Kwesi Appiah's tenure as a Black Star, give me one memory that you remember. Well, football, you guys like talking about memory. Nothing. The only thought that comes when you mention Kwesi Appiah, 2014 World Cup. And I'm saying that with this history, he should rather sit back and maybe find some, consultancy job doing for the players and all that. One trump card, that for me, maybe he should harness or maybe consult on his player, scouting for us. He brought the likes of Achus and all that. And these people gave us some fantastic. I remember Achus, 6-1 thrashing of Egypt also at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, right? So I'm saying that based on the history he has, he shouldn't come close. And he's only coming close because he knows another MPP government is in power. That is the truth you are failing to see. And that is the truth. He is coming back because he knows another MPP. He came in, President Kofo, right? 2017, when he came back and ended in 2018, which regime was in power? The MPP regime. And they lobbied for him to come. The Akufo-Addo government has 2 years remaining by the constitutional mandate given to them at the election. So he thinks that he can come back and launch that. And I'm saying that we shouldn't go back to him as Javier said. Every thematic area you want to look at it, I think he falls short. We should move on with some of these things. You see, Zando, it's like an ex. You will be a champion and ye back on. And ye me, imprensa so. But what damn? Hey, why? So, yes. Javier here can give us the experience.
I don't have the experience, please. You don't have the experience of Emperor first one, second one,
and third one. But it can work for the third time anyway. But you know, Eugene, Kwesi Appiah was the first Ghanaian to qualify to the World Cup. And that game at the Barbara Sports Stadium was memorable. You were asking of the memorable thing with Kwesi Appiah's 2 spells with the national team, and I can point to that game at the Barbara Sports Stadium.
Do you know the amount of, we are not doing but do you know the amount of literatures and embarrassment that single World Cup of 2014 did to the image of Ghana?
So for UG to Kwesi Appiah should not even have the moral right in the first place to
even think or contemplate the thought of coming back as a Black Stars coach.
But the official news for you is that Kwesi Appiah has applied for the Black Stars coaching job. Vivi.
Well, Stephen, good morning to our listeners.
Yeah.
I think that first of all,
But like Javier was saying, there's nothing wrong for any personality deciding to apply for a Black Stars job.
But that was not even your question. Your question was,
is he the right man for the job?
Yeah. So that's why nobody has a problem.
Yeah.
If he applies for the Black Stars.
But Eugene has a problem.
Because Eugene has also a very good, like he is coming from a very good place. And he says that if you look at Mr. Kwesi Appiah, he's probably a very fantastic gentleman.
Yeah, fine gentleman.
Yeah, but then the data suggests that he's an alpha coach. That he's not good enough as a coach.
Alpha?
Yeah, he's not good enough as a coach.
Hey.
Yeah, in his second stint, he had about 45.45% win percentage, which is not good enough. 22 games, he won 10, drew 8 of them, lost 4 of them. Not good enough. Yes, he's a trailblazer in Ghana football where he qualified us to the World Cup for the first time as a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
But what did he have to show after that? And you guys have made mention of, and rightly so, political expediency. That's why he came back. I also think that when we went to the World Cup in 2014, the debacle over there, and while he was head of the playing body, people in government at the time, people who came back later felt that maybe the misgivings of the Black Stars and Ghana at the World Cup wasn't directly at the doorstep of Kwesi Appiah.
Yeah.
So if you talk about how we carried some
$3 million
amount of money to Brazil and all of that, I mean, Kwesi Appiah couldn't have influenced that.
Sure.
The technical team, the management team probably did things that were wrong that he as a coach couldn't have done anything about. So he's in charge of our performance on the field. Maybe all of these things did affect our performance on the field. So he was given a second chance. So I will cut him some slack when it comes to Brazil. But when I give a coach my mandate for him to do a job as a Black Stars coach, then I look at why is it that you get back and already we are about 5 points or so behind Egypt, and it gets even bad in those qualification rounds in trying to qualify for Russia 2018. The only game that we played very well was that Congo-Brazzaville game where we thumped them. After that, we were not good enough. You made mention to the AFCON 2019 in Egypt. In that AFCON, I
Tunisia
think
kicked us out.
Yes, it was just three teams in our group. I think Sierra Leone also pulled out. So we were in there with Kenya also. Then in a round of 16, we met Tunisia and they kicked us out. But Steve, the football was nothing to write home about. Kwesi Appiah's win percentage is not good enough. And I think that for me, if you look at where we are as a football nation, I mean, let me throw away that football nation term. Where we are as a nation with our football, then Kwesi Appiah is not the man to take us forward. Why do I see this? We have moved from the days of when we had a lot of Ghanaian-born players in our team. Now we are transitioning from young boys who have Ghanaian lineages, born in Europe, who have had to go through academy processes. They understand the game to a certain level. Now, Mr. Kwesi Appiah has gone out of job, sat home literally, unless maybe he has done a lot more that I do not know about, haven't really got into any football job since he left. In fact, if Kwesi Appiah goes to that interview and I'm there, I'll ask him, since you left in 2019,
what have you been doing?
What have you done? I mean, do you have anything to show? How many games have you won since 2019? Has your win percentage increased elsewhere? Have you done any good thing? And remember that after he left, there were some calls for he going to Sudan and some other countries in Africa, but that didn't see the light of day. So he is not the right man for the job because his win percentage and things like that were not good in his second spell. And also, since he led the Black Stars, there's nothing evident of a proper progress from what we saw the last time under Kwesi Appiah. And my issue with this whole government thing, I personally do not think that our football will ever be 100% autonomous. I don't think so. And I think that really, if we want proper development in our football, there should be a policy direction. And I would want, maybe if Eugene joins again, we can talk about that. I think that there should be a proper policy direction with respect to our football.
From whose end? The
From
government?
the government's end. And it should be binding. Whichever government comes in, that should be binding. Yes, the government should...
Who should enforce those policies? The GFA or the government?
Oh, no, it should be binding. So, I don't know.
All parties involved, all stakeholders.
Yes, so maybe there should be an LI, a legal instrument or something from Parliament that makes it binding. So that even if government A goes out and government B comes, we need to go to that line.
Okay.
And I think it should start even from our juvenile football. Steve, the kind of coaches who should go ahead to train these boys to become the next Thomas Day parties and the likes, we should have something like that to go into that. The last time you and I were having a conversation about these AstroTurfs and how most of them are not even standardized pitch sizes.
Exactly, yeah.
What binds these people who are seemingly political actors trying to
score political points
with these things? What binds them to do the right thing?
There are times they even construct these AstroTurf without the experts involved.
Exactly.
So the Ghana Football Association perhaps is not even aware of most of these AstroTurfs in this country.
Now it should grow to the top level. What kind of coaches do we want for our national team? What should be the criteria? What should they have done? Like, should we subject them to some form of test with respect to recent coaching methodology? We should know all of these things. And I've seen the lineup of Steve Cooper, Hector Cooper, Steve McLaren. I don't think these
Chris
guys.
Hughton.
I mean, apart from Chris Hughton, I don't even think Steve McLaren and Hector Cooper are the men to take us forward. Yes, there's a talk of experience, but really, the game keeps on evolving.
Yeah.
What do we want? Do we just want experience?
Yes.
I do not think
experience inclusive, but I think we have a generation of players who need, as it were.
Yes, I think
that reform, that revolved mentality to as it were get them there.
I think that if we have somebody cast in the age brackets of Otuado, young, exuberant enough, who also understands the trend of the football game and then gets what he wants to get from then we can go far. I mean, the talk of interference and what have you from the GFA, they know. The ministry knows. For me also, I think one of our biggest issues in our football is the seeming politicking between the FA and the ministry. They know this as well. I mean, when they come out there and they are nice photo ops and they come to take nice pictures and all of that, but when they go back inside, when the new coach comes in, whether Kwesi Appiah, whether Fifi Manfred, whether Steve Zando, when they get into the job, who really are they reporting to? Are they reporting to the FA? Are they reporting to the minister? Who are they reporting to? All of these things need to be sorted out.
Okay.
But for me, Kwesi Appiah, I mean, he should not even think about it. I'm sorry.
So you were surprised when you heard the news?
Yes,
that he has applied for
the job. I saw the video where he was seated in his car.
And
he said, "I'm Ghanaian." I'm like, boss,
this will be Ghanaian matter.
Just because you are Ghanaian. Oh, please.
Okay, Andy, let's try and pick about 5 calls before we move on to the foreign segment of the show. Is Kwesi Appiah the right man for the job? Is Kwesi Appiah the right man for the job? 0322083596, 0322083597, 0322083598. Javier, do you want to say something?
Yeah, let me ask you this. Why would you pick Chris Hughton as a Black Stars manager and not Hector Cooper? Why?
Or maybe Chris Hughton because of his experience in the English Premier League.
Is he more experienced than Hector? You know Hector Cooper?
I know Hector Cooper, yeah.
You know him?
Yeah. He's also experienced too.
And you think Chris Hughton is more experienced than Hector?
So I have not said I'm going to choose Chris Hughton over him. Maybe experience will not be enough in this context. But I mean, based on the path that we want to chart at the moment, new players, players with different mentality.
What's the path? So
I mean, we need to make sure that they gel, they build that sort of chemistry on the field of play
on any given day. If you put Chris Hughton there
and Hector Cooper,
and you put Hector Cooper,
I'll
pick Hector Cooper 1,000 times.
Hey,
yes,
1,000 times.
Yes. He's better.
This is your Black Stars technical advisor.
He's far better. I mean, what some of these are political. I mean, this technical advisor thing, appointment, just like you mentioned, of Otuado and things like that. I've talked about it several times, so I don't want to go back to that point again. The appointment of Otuado, appointment of Chris Hughton and things. What political influence is going into it and things like that. But if you want a coach who is very experienced,
with a proper CV,
who has seen it all at club level. Remember, is this with Valencia when the guys come in the and the Santi they went to the Champions League final. I mean, he's a proven.
Javier, this is about 15, 20 years ago.
But he's still relevant.
Okay, anyway, let me go and pick Nana on the telephone. I'll come and ask you why you paid Chris Hughton 1,000 times over.
All of us, everybody say Chris Hughton.
Maybe he's competent.
He is. He was Brighton and Hove Albion manager. He won only 9 matches. 9 matches. The season that he was sacked, he won only 9 matches.
But that's Brighton. That's Brighton against the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool.
What did he do there?
Nana Kweku, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing good.
Sorry for keeping you waiting.
No problem.
Okay.
Now, the question that we're going to ask is, Kwesi Appiah right for the job? Now, let's ask ourselves, does he have the qualification as espoused by the ministry or the GFA as qualification for the job?
But the qualification that he's got it.
Yes, he's got it. Now, let's ask ourselves, can he work? Yes, you can. But the only problem and challenge is no matter the coach that we bring into Ghana to come and coach us, is about some of us, the citizens, some of us, the journalists. We all know, yes, I know, don't cut me short. And we all know that, yes, some of the players have some journalists in their pocket as they pay them. So they are paid to more or less shine a limelight or put some sort of a light on their careers.
This thing you are saying, do you have evidence?
No, please.
But do you have evidence?
Okay. It's alleged.
It's a serious allegation.
It is an alleged.
And you can't confirm it, so why do you bring it already?
Let me finish. There's one thing also. If we are going to, the GFA is going to allow no matter the coach that comes in, a free hand
to operate,
to work.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana Kweku. Let's move on to the next one. Uncle George, good morning.
Okay.
Hello, Uncle George.
Steve, good morning.
I hope you're fine.
By the grace of yourself.
I'm good. We thank God for your life, for our lives, actually. You're on it. Let's say you. Is Kwesi Appiah the right man for the job?
I think Kwesi has learned some lessons. That's how I see it. The reason why he's applying for the third time. But for me, because of the influence by these officials, when a local man is in charge, I don't think he should come in again. And then you have to go out there and get some of these expatriate coaches to come and take the affairs, so that no influence will come in. Other than that, if Kwesi is given the chance again, no matter what, people will influence, they will come in and then destroy everything again. So I think Kwesi should end it all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle George. Let's move on to Abri. Abri, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. You?
Okay, I'm okay. Let's say, is Kwesi Appiah the right man for the Black Stars job?
No, he's not the right person for the Black Stars. But he wanted to prove himself. That is what he wanted to do. He shouldn't worry himself. He can't prove himself and going to win the Africa Cup or the World Cup. No, he can't do it. So he should stay back. When he gets to a place that we need him, we'll call him. Thank
you. All right. Thank you very much, Abri. Richard, good morning. Hello, Rich.
Hello?
Yeah, Rich, good morning.
Good morning.
Fine. I hope you're fine.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Steve.
Okay, let's hear you. Is Kwesi Appiah the right man for the job? He has applied for the Black Stars coaching job.
I don't think so. Simply because I don't see him standing on his toes to take a bold decisions. A coach who can simply change a captain without any justifiable reason cannot stand on his grounds to make a decisive decision. So for him, even if he is capable of coaching the Black Stars, for the fact that he's not able to stand on his ground to make a good decision or a bold decision, I don't think he should come back again.
Rich, thank you very much for coming through. Zazie, good morning. Hello, Zazie.
Yeah, good morning, my man.
I hope you're fine.
Yeah, good morning. I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. Let's hear you on air.
Okay, so the reason why I believe Coach Appiah wants to return to the Black Star is one, he has realized that the old players that he worked with, the who caused his downfall, they are no more there.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Black Star is made of youth and then new faces, and then he has realized that they have the power to do something. You get it?
Okay.
They have the potential, and that is why he wants to come back and then take up the new faces. But I believe.
Mm-hmm.
With discipline-wise, these new guys, they are very disciplined. But if Coach Appiah should return and they handle these guys, there's going to be a lot of indiscipline. That is what I believe. But Javier was saying you would have preferred Hector. We say the older you get, the more experienced you become. But if you realize, these are coaches who have been in Africa for a very long time. Now their tactics is now depleting. If you realize that not long ago we brought in this old coach thinking that he has the experience, but then he came and then it was a shambolic performance.
Yeah.
So I believe we should look forward to a new face. Chris Hughton has done very well, with the team in recent times. I believe, he can bring something new to the team.
Okay.
And let's not focus on Coach Appiah because it's black and Ghanaian and stuff.
All right, thank you very much. Patrick, you are my last caller for this segment. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you are fine.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, Pato, let's hear your name.
My name is Patrick.
Yeah.
My name is Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick, let's hear your name.
Hello.
Hello, Patrick.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
So your name, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to say that the Black Star, I think some people use the Black Star as their investment. I don't know. Because how can you even give Akwasi Appiah the chance? Akwasi Appiah cannot control Nike Williams.
Hey.
He cannot control Nike Williams.
Akwasi Appiah coach Michael Essien and Suleiman Muntari and Kelvin Prince Boateng.
During that time, you couldn't do anything.
Interesting.
Yes, because he couldn't control them very well. When he went to 2014, look at what happened.
Thank you very much. Danny, good morning.
Good morning, Daniel Pasetia.
Hey, Danny.
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm okay. It's been a while.
Yeah, I did. It is your producer. He has been disturbing a lot. Andy the player, Mr. Player.
Mr. Andy Ade. Sorry, Mr. Andy Ade.
Yes, Mr. Andy Ade, aka Mrs. and Mr. Player. I salute you this morning, and Mrs. Louisa, I salute her this morning.
Okay, so let's hear you. Is Kwesi Appiah the right man for the job?
All right. There was this adage in our local that says that I be the honoma. Yankai Kaidabio, Yankofa Kaidabio. Yes, Akwasi Appiah has done well for the Black Stars. So if he tendered in his request to coach for the Black Stars again, I think there's no problem. He qualified to do it. If Otuado was able to take it to the World Cup, but Akwasi Appiah has done it before.
Okay.
So this one is of no news that Akwasi Appiah cannot handle the Black Stars again. He can.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daniel from Mpasatia. Asai Boateng says, watching live at KJTR City Market tomorrow. God willing, is a big game actually, and trust them. Arsenal will carry the day. Ghana is for life. Greetings to the crew. Thank you very much, Asai Boateng. But Javier, quick one before we talk about Juventus and the fixtures coming up this weekend in the major leagues in Europe. You were talking about Hector Cooper.
Yes.
And I've pulled something for you.
Okay, please.
His last job was with DR Congo. He was appointed on 30th of May 2021. And ended his stint about 8 months later on 9th June 2022. He played 14 matches, won just 3, drew 4 matches. He lost 7 matches, win percentage of 21.43. This is certainly not good enough for the Black Stars.
Now, what about Chris Hughton?
Chris Hughton.
His last job at Brighton and Hove Albion.
Oh, so for you it is between Chris Hughton and
do that too.
Chris Hughton.
Yes. I told you that his last job, he won only 9 matches, 9. Brighton and Hove Albion, he was sacked. And this Graham Potter took over. He also won 9, first season, second season 9.
So you, for 5 years, for you, it is between Chris Hughton and...
No, I'm not saying it's between them. But what I'm saying is that...
If you have to choose between one, okay.
Yes, if you have Chris Hughton and you have Hector Cooper, I'll always go for Hector Cooper.
Hey.
Yes.
Chris Hughton's last job was with Nottingham Forest. 6th October 2020. He ended his stint on 16 September 2021. 53 matches. He won just 14. 17 drawn games. 22 defeats. Eish. Win percentage of 26. Wow.
So,
but have you Hector Cooper? I mean, the thing he did with Valencia about 50 years, 20 years ago.
You remember when Olympic Marseille had been the Paris?
Yeah,
when they won the Champions.
Yeah.
Who was their manager at that time? He was called Raymond Wouters. He was 80.
80.
Over 80 years. So call him octogenarian.
Cooper is 67.
Yeah, he was check the record. It was over 80 years. I think it was 80 over 80 years. Raymond Wouters, who won the Champions League for Olympic Marseille then. Octogenarian. He was over 80 years or 80 years. But he won the Champions League with them. So I mean, some people say age is just a number. The man has huge experience. And if you are talking about the experience and what the two have been able to achieve, I think that he's just miles and miles ahead
of Chris Hughton.
Miles and miles ahead of Chris Hughton.
Thank you very much. That was Javier Clemente with his take on Kwesi Appiah applying for the Black Stars coaching job. You're still live on your superstation Love 99.5 FM. The program is kickoff. You're going to end at 9 a.m. and cross over to Joy 99.7 FM to bring you news file. My name is Stephen Zando. This one says, my name is Koki Rezin. Akoko Amon. Accra House of Folk will win double this season. Hi to my dear daughter Ahwofe Patricia. Thank you very much, Crazy. You can also send me your message now on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 995. 055 1111 995. Now, the big story in Italy is that Juventus have been docked 15 points following an investigation into the club's past transfer dealings. Italy's Football Federation, FIGC, says. Now, the Serie A giants were accused of fixing their balance sheet by artificial gains from club transfers. I mean, these are account technical terms. So basically, the story is that Juventus have been deducted 15 solid points, and with this development, they will drop from the 3rd spot to the 10th spot. What can you tell us, Javier?
But see, first of all, the accusations are four major accusations, and they are accused of all or some of the accusations. The first one is market manipulation.
Okay.
Then we have false corporate disclosures. We have fake invoicing. And the last one is preventing the supervisory authority from performing its duty.
Fake invoicing?
Yes.
Hey, but I thought this thing is only prevalent in Ghana.
Yeah, so
fake invoicing for Juventus?
Yes.
Hey, that's serious.
So they did all this market manipulation, false corporate disclosures, fake invoicing, and preventing the supervisory authority from performing its duty, all to make their books look very, very, very good. You know this financial fair play thing?
Yeah.
And how it means that the clubs must not spend beyond a certain level, and the clubs must not be in debt and things like that. And I think that it's a very good thing that has been introduced, because previously we had situations where clubs, because they have a lot of money, are able to splash their cash around, buy players, huge sums of money, and to the detriment of making sure that at least the club runs very well.
Yeah.
So clubs go into serious administrative issues or serious financial issues because they are not able to check their income and expenditure before they realize they have huge expenditures over income, and some go bankrupt, unable to pay their players, unable to do some little things that any corporate entity is able to do over time. So I think the financial fair play has come, and it's helping. So what basically is happening is this. You know, in accounting, you just don't throw figures around just like that. There are certain concepts and principles. They're called the concepts and conventions that we follow. Okay, and these concepts and conventions are just to guide us in the preparation of our books.
Okay.
So there's full disclosure, there's consistency, there's accounting.
Is that what you call balancing of the books?
No. There's called disclosure, consistency, going concern. Those are our concepts and conventions that we use, so that at least at the end of the day, our books will follow a certain concept or a certain convention. So that if I prepare my accounts, for instance, there's this thing I call comparability. If I prepare my accounts, let's say in Ghana, a person prepares the same account in the US, we should be able to compare. You get what I'm saying? So the report that I'm picking is that Juventus did some underhand dealings. There are certain transactions that they entered into, which at the end of the day, they reported the wrong figure.
Wow.
So that's where this...
they wanted to cheat the system?
Yeah, they reported the wrong figure because they wanted their books to look very nice. And this investigation started some years back. And the report I'm picking is that even the phone calls of their directors, Pavonet Beard and the other guy, Agnelli and the other guys, were all tapped. And then the conversation that they had with certain third parties were all tapped. And it has indicted them. So many things have happened at Juventus, to the extent that, sometimes they even tell their players to waive their salary for a certain number of months, so that at least their books can look very good. Then after a certain number of months, that expiration of those number of months, they pay their salary, they spread it over a certain period of time. They buy players huge sums of money. They don't record the full amount. This full disclosure thing that I've talked about, but they spread the amount over a certain period of time. So that is basically what is happening there. And for me, it is a good thing that has happened. And those of us here in Ghana, I think that we have to take a cue from this. I don't know what pertains in Ghana, whether our clubs have been prepared their financial accounts and they present it to the FAO or to anybody for them to audit. Because it's also a condition here. So if you are Juventus, for instance, and you want to prevent the supervisory authority from maybe going through your books, because you know that you've done some underhandling, so I think that's very, very serious. And for me, I don't feel sorry for them at all. Pablo Nedved, very, very good guy, played for Juventus, the director of the club, Agnelli and other guys, and Paratici, they've all been indicted. And I think that the investigation it shows that elsewhere the institutions are working. It doesn't matter whether you are Juventus or AC Milan or
Juventus, one of the biggest clubs in
Napoli
Italy,
or whatever. If we are fault, we are fault. And I think that we have to replicate what is happening there here, because I don't know what our clubs do.
So in the space of 20 years in Italian football, this is the second time Juventus is being hammered this way in Italian football. But they said they are going to appeal the decision anyway.
No, I don't think they'll be successful. Appeal the decision, maybe the point deduction will be reduced, but I don't think that. Pablo Nedved and other guys, they've been resigned before the outcome of this investigation. They did because they realized that they are culpable. They done something wrong. They realized that they've done something. That's why they resigned even before the outcome of this investigation. So clearly, the dealings there have been very, 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 very muddy, very, 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 very bad.
Okay.
And I was talking about our clubs. Players leave Ghana, they go outside to ply their trade, and we don't even get to know how much they are sold for. We don't get to know how much they are sold for. But these are serious issues. They are issues that I think that the FA and the relevant bodies will have to look at. Because we sit here, and you mentioned Trossard, who has moved from Brighton over beyond to Arsenal. Don't you know how much he's going for?
Yeah,
we know.
29 million
Yeah,
pounds.
we know when Chelsea signed this PSG, this young guy. We know how much he's coming to Chelsea for. You get me? Yeah. Felix moves from ATM to Chelsea, loan. We know how much Chelsea is paying. We know how much he's going to pick at the end of the week. But in our case, some of these things are shrouded with some form of secrecy. You don't get to get.
There's no transparency.
No.
Okay.
So how do they even prepare their books? So which figures do they put in their books? And who goes through the books to make sure that what they put there is what must be put there? So it's
collection of such data is problematic in this country. Actually, the last time
it shouldn't be.
Yes,
it shouldn't be.
It's a big problem. The last time when we interviewed Kojo Fiano, he made it clear that they had approached the office of the vice president to begin conversation on slashing taxes at the gate, statutory taxes. When Shatawali places shows at the Accra Sports Stadium, he pays 3% as entertainment tax. But in terms of football, they pay 18.5%. And Garka's chairman wanted to lead that charge to make sure that the tax is slashed. But when they went to the office of the vice president, he made it clear they were able to, as it were, gather data of the likes of Asante Kotoko, crowds of folk and what of you. But the other Ghana Premier League club, they can't even gather data in terms of attendance to build a case for them.
So this e-ticketing thing has come, and it's helping, because either to what was happening was that some of these clubs, they benefit so much from that.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So how many tickets, for instance, do they print, and how many tickets, for instance, do they sell? Sometimes you go to the stadium, and you look at the crowd there, and you look at the number or the quantity of tickets that have been sold, and there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Clearly, you can see that there's a difference. So where does that money go, for instance? So it's the entertainment tax. Fine, I agree that the higher the tax, the lesser you are going to get.
Sure.
So if, for instance, somebody is supposed to pay 3% as entertainment tax, and you pay, how much did you say, 18.something%, it means that what the net is going to be will be very small as compared to the 3% one. So I agree with that. But the other issues that we have to look at, then this Juventus thing for me has come at the right time. That at the time that we want to develop our football to another level, at the time that we want to weed out some of the bad things in our football to make sure that at least we get a crowd back to their facilities to watch our football games. Yeah. So it has come at the right time. The FA must be up and doing. Gaka, for instance,
transparent.
Yes. So some of these, I mean, it's something that we have to struggle all the time. Players move, and that's my concern. Players move, and you call a club official, Omoton is saying, "Oh, we don't even know."
And you know, these things make the conversation exciting. The fact that Chelsea bought Lukaku for this amount, Chelsea supporters will be arguing. They'll be talking about the amount. Invariably, you are projecting the Ghana Premier League. So for example, Barney moves from Hasselhoff to maybe Zurich. Officially, Hasselhoff communicates that this is the amount that he's going out for. We are going to ask you to generate something out of it.
So if you go,
it makes the conversation exciting.
If you go through the books of Chelsea, for instance, you find the amount sitting in the books.
Yeah.
You find the amount sitting in the books. If you go through the books of Chelsea, you find all the transactions, because these are transparent transactions, transactions that are public notice or public information. You find them sitting in the books of Chelsea. But in that case, some of these things are kept a secret. People don't want you to know how much they are earning.
Yeah.
But they want you to know how much they are spending. So it becomes a problem.
Yeah. We spend this amount.
Yeah. So how much do you earn? Nobody wants to tell you, but they want you to know how much they are spending. What if you sell a player and the supporters are aware that we sold this player for this amount of money? It's good.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe coming to add up to the revenue or the income that you have, it also tells your supporters how creative, how crafty you are when it comes to negotiation and things like that. But we keep it a secret. Kwampoku, most of the players, they are leaving.
Move from Kotoko to OGS, and we don't even know officially.
Every year.
Yeah.
Go to House of Folk and ask them if they will be forthcoming with information as to the players that they've sold for maybe the past 2 years. Go to Kotoko and ask them, how many players have you sold for the past 2 years? How many players have you brought in? You don't even have the figures. You can't get the figures.
Unless as a journalist, you sit down and do your calculation.
The players coming in, you don't know how much they are coming in for. They go out, you don't know how much they are going out for.
It takes a bit of excitement away from the conversation on the Ghana Premier League.
All these can be solved if we are serious, like what the guys at Italy have done. Because we must find a representation of those details in the financial statement that those clubs will prepare
to declare. Okay.
And it is mandatory. I know it's mandatory that at the end of every year the clubs must do that. But that's whether the supervisory body is actually doing its job. It's another question that we have to ask on another day.
So it's 25 minutes after 7. You're still live on your super station, Love 99.5 FM. The program is Kickoff. Aqua is here with the fixtures across the major leagues in Europe. Felix, let's go.
Yeah, good morning to all our listeners. And we'll start from the camp of Chelsea. And of course, Chelsea will be playing away at the Anfield later on at 12:30. And Graham Potter has a new role for new signing Mudryk.
Good, really good. Young player, exciting player, fantastic speed, 1v1, can attack the back line, and now we're just going to help him adapt to the Premier League, adapt to us. He's obviously come from a mid-season break, hasn't played so much football recently, but has been training well, so we'll obviously assess him and see how much he can play at the weekend. Yeah, there's a chance. Well, again, it's how much he can do. I think 90 minutes, no, but there's probably a role for him at some stage in the game.
Right, so you heard from Graham Potter speaking.
You didn't
know what he said.
Okudia Park, so I'm now talking.
But you didn't know what he said.
Auto your press conference and another day.
It is just not working. It doesn't mean that he's not good. I mean, it will work with time. It's happening to Mikel Arteta.
Press conference. Look at the way he's speaking.
But he needs to be confident. Speak with confidence. Let's continue.
Let's move on to Liverpool boss and Jurgen Klopp, who is playing his 1,000th game with 3 clubs. He started with Mainz 05 and also with Dortmund and now with Liverpool. And he has been speaking about his 1,000th game.
Work pretty much through 22 years and then you can somehow arrive there. Otherwise, with a few other the clubs would have sacked me a bit earlier than a year on break. Then I'm sitting here and I'm 60 and maybe 1,000. So it's a massive thing. I feel really blessed. I have obviously 3 fantastic clubs which gave me the opportunity to do the job. So that's what's going through my mind. It's not. I don't think I learned. I learned a lot, obviously, but I wouldn't know what is the most important thing I've learned. But it's when this week people told me, because I forgot it, that it will happen, then I really start, then it come pictures just coming up, and the start at Mainz, the start at Dortmund, the start here, all these kind of things coming up, and when you come in somewhere, you never know how it will go.
Right, so that was Jurgen Klopp speaking there on his 1,000th game. Moving on, and another big fixture in the English Premier League, of course, is Manchester United against Arsenal. And of course, Erik ten Hag will be without Casemiro, but he says that he has done it without Casemiro in the first game, and we look forward to this one.
I think as Manchester United, always you have to look for solutions and always you have to look for better. We will be now research, and if there are opportunities, we have to go for it. As I said, beat last time Arsenal without Casemiro, we have an idea how to do it. It's obvious they are in a really good run. I think they deserve position where they are now. It's a really good structure, how they play. There's a really good mentality, winning attitude in the team, and that's why they are now top of the list. So they are in a great run, but it's up to us to beat that run, and we will do everything to do that.
All right, so let's get into some of the other matches. And in Spain, Atletico de Madrid will be playing against Valladolid. There was Barcelona against Getafe at 5:30 p.m. And of course, today at 6:30 p.m. in Egypt, there's a Cairo derby. Zamalek will be playing against Al Ahly at the Cairo International Stadium. In South Africa, there's Kaizer Chiefs, who lie fifth. They will be playing against Mamelodi Sundowns at 6 p.m. at the FNB Sports Stadium. In Germany, there's Frankfurt versus Schalke at 2:30. Bochum will be playing as host to Hertha Berlin at 2:30 p.m. In Italy, there's Fiorentina versus Torino at 7:45 p.m. And in Spain, of course, Sevilla will be also playing as host to Cadiz on that one. But let's finish with the Arsenal Manchester United game, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been speaking ahead of the game, and he says that Leandro Trossard is a very good signing for Arsenal.
Well, we are really happy to have him. Obviously, it's a player that we have followed for a while now, and the opportunity came. We have the necessity, obviously, to have a player in the front line that is versatile enough to play in different positions. He knows the league, he has enough experience here, and I think he can have immediate impact in the team. I think short term, but as well medium and long term, and I think he gives it all that. He's a very intelligent player. Obviously, when you look at his career, what he's done in the last few years, he's a player that fits our way of playing for sure, and we are happy to have him.
So that was Mikel Arteta speaking on new signing Leandro Trossard. But in the English Premier League, the other matches coming up today, we've got Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Leicester City will be playing Brighton and Hove Albion at 3 p.m. We've got Southampton versus Aston Villa. West Ham United have a date against Everton. There is another crunch encounter between Jordan Ayew's Crystal Palace and Newcastle United. That game kickoff is 5:30 p.m. today. Now, Felix, tomorrow, apart from the Arsenal versus Man United game, we've got Man City versus Wolves, and Leeds United will be playing against Brentford in the Spanish La Liga. Barcelona will be up against Getafe tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Athletic Bilbao will be playing against Real Madrid. So these are the major fixtures coming up in the major leagues in Europe. Javier, Chelsea versus Liverpool. What a game it will be.
Oh, what is it going to be?
Two big clubs in England. Two stragglers. Two struggling teams in the English Premier League.
No. Some years back. I mean, if maybe 2 years, 3 years ago, Chelsea versus Liverpool for me was a very, very, very big game.
Today it's still a big game. It's a big game.
It's not a big game.
Why is it not a big game?
I mean, the two teams have 28 points at least. 28 points.
Okay, so based on their performance this season.
Yes.
Okay.
They have 28 points. Just a huge 19 points adrift of the Premier League leaders, Arsenal. 19 points. The difference between Chelsea's 28 and Arsenal's points. Arsenal sits at the summit of the league table. It's 19. Chelsea, I think that they played 18. Okay, let's peg it at 18. 18 games. 18 games. If you play 18 games, then we expect that at least you have a total of 54 points.
Mm-hmm.
So if you play 18, we expect that you have 54 points because 18 times 3 if you win.
Yeah.
But to have 28 points means that you have lost a whopping 26 points.
You
know what it means? You've lost a whopping 26 points. The two teams. It tells you that it's maybe some revenge for Chelsea because of last season. You remember what happened last season? The FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, or the League Cup. Liverpool beat Chelsea on those occasions. So maybe Chelsea feels that they want to go into this game with revenge on their minds and make sure that at least they're able to beat Liverpool. But apart from that, what is
it's a big game. I mean, both clubs can relaunch their season with the win today. So just imagine Chelsea winning against Liverpool.
So the two teams, the bad thing about the match is that even the two teams are also going to miss some very key players. So go to Liverpool, for instance, Virgil van Dijk is out and Bobby Firmino is also out. Chelsea, obviously, we have a tall list of absentee players or injured players and who are not going to make it. Raheem Sterling and N'Golo Kanté and those guys are all not going to play. So it's for me, it's nothing. Go to Liverpool. Good news is that maybe you can have Darwin Núñez back. And maybe Cody Gakpo can also play. But apart from that, what is at stake?
What are you expecting today?
Well, two stragglers, if I may say. Playing the first play early kickoff. Two stragglers. But is it not that ironic to say Chelsea and Liverpool are stragglers?
Hey, the same season.
Yeah. Hey, two stragglers. Struggling to win matches.
Yeah.
But the match, if you're a Liverpool fan, I think the good thing for you is that the match is going to be played at Anfield. And last week, when we had this discussion of matches that Chelsea have played under Graham Potter, the away performance of Chelsea has been very, 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 very bad. Very, very bad. Out of 10 matches, 30 matches, I think that Chelsea has amassed only about 18 or so matches away. So it clearly tells you that Chelsea has not been very good away performance. And Liverpool playing at home with Darwin Núñez back, with Cody Gakpo playing. Maybe the absence of Virgil van Dijk could be telling on them. But in his absence, they have some very good players at the back too. Joe Matip and Konate are also very good players.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's a back line that you can trust. Because you have Robertson and Trent Alexander are not playing. And you have Konate and you have maybe you have Matip also playing. And in midfield, now I agree with what Eugene said earlier about the Liverpool midfield. Henderson for me going down a little bit. James Milner, very old, not that combative again. Fabinho also down a little bit to the extent that he doesn't even start most Liverpool games these days. I mean, he's somebody who normally, barring injury, will start any Liverpool game. But Fabinho sits out and sometimes comes on as a sub in the second half when the game is almost ending. So the main man in the midfield is Thiago Alcantara. He's, for me, will be the main man in the Liverpool midfield. Then on the wings, they can have Cody Gakpo, Darwin Núñez is coming back, and good old Mo Salah will also play. So I think that they have more balance than Chelsea. And looking at the players that I've mentioned, because if you go to Chelsea, for instance, the back line, I don't know the players that Graham Potter is going to play. I don't know. Previously, you could just put your fingers on certain players who normally would start for Chelsea. He's going to play Hall on the left. He's going to play Saliba on the right, or Cesar Azpilicueta. The central defensive partner is going to be Thiago Silva and Koulibaly or
Sure.
I'm not very sure. Even in midfield, who are going to play? Is it going to be Kovacic and Jorginho, or is it going to play Kovacic and Gallagher and those guys? It's a whole problem if you look at the Chelsea setup, we've been so inconsistent with our selection to the extent that we are not getting the best out of the team. It's as if they have a wide range of players and only giving the Graham Potter wants at least everybody to also play. But as a Chelsea fan, I know that has not been the case. I mean, we've had some very, very, very stable players, and one or two players have come in and out of the team. But these days, it's so difficult to even predict the Chelsea starting 11. It tells you how inconsistent and how we have treated team building at Chelsea these days. And
likely your new signing will play. The Mudryk guy. I've watched his videos.
It's an excellent addition to the squad.
Yeah.
Excellent addition to the squad. And I mean, to the sense that Roberto De Zerbi, the Brighton Hove Albion manager, he managed him at Shakhtar Donetsk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he managed him at Shakhtar Donetsk, and under De Zerbi, he's one player who played almost all the matches that De Zerbi took charge of for Shakhtar Donetsk.
Okay.
And De Zerbi has some very nice words about it. He thinks that maybe some years this guy can win the Ballon d'Or. That's what Roberto De Zerbi is saying, that he thinks that Mudryk can win the Ballon d'Or.
But if you go to YouTube and watch his highlights, I mean, his pace, his movement is devastating.
I'm not this.
But it's an accumulation of the matches that he has played.
Yeah, but I just an accumulation of some good matches here and there. It doesn't give you a fair representation of what.
I know.
Yes, an accumulation of just one or two matches, especially. I mean, those are videos that agents used to sell their players.
Yeah.
So they just cut, just put them together, and you see him running all over the place with these dribbles, with these cycles and things like that, and you think that he's a very good player. But football is played over 90 minutes. It's not played over 1 minute, over 1 minute or 2 minutes. So you get what I'm saying. So, but the video that I've seen, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
And if you look at what Mikel Arteta and Edu are doing at Arsenal now, for them to have shown interest in the player means that
he's
a very good player. So let's wait and see. But for me, I think that at Anfield, Liverpool are the favourites over Chelsea.
So Liverpool is winning today?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, this must be very difficult for you.
Yeah.
Saying this, predicting a win for your opponents.
Yeah.
Oh, Javi, sorry about that. We'll be fine. Anyway, Fifi. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, Athletic Bilbao versus
Chelsea
Real Madrid.
versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
I want to start with that. I
Today,
think
12:30.
Yeah, first of all, there's some renewed energy at Chelsea. So the inclusion of Noni Madueke, England under 21 player, Nigerian descent.
But this name is for play for Nigeria.
But there's a certain time Abraham wants to not play for Abraham.
But this name be Madueke.
Olu Adamilo Lafikayo Tomori is still not
Samu Chukwueze did not even play for.
Yeah, Chukwueze did, but I mean a host of them are still playing there. So
no, I'm talking about the Chukwuemeka guy. Sorry.
Yeah, Kani Chukwuemeka.
The Chukwuemeka guy did not play for Nigeria.
For Nigeria
but this guy, the Madueke, if we use this name, then play for Nigeria.
How?
Madueke. Playing for England.
Why didn't Victor Moses play for England? So yeah, I mean, Madueke is in. Yesterday, Ruud van Nistelrooy said some very good things about him also, and I like the profile of players that Chelsea are buying. So if you look at Mykhailo Mudryk like this, it's very good, explosive, direct 1v1 winger on the right hand side. And I've always said that if you want to look at the profile of wingers you have to buy for a team, then you go and ask Pep Guardiola how he buys his wingers. The likes of Riyad Mahrez decide games, they turn games on their heads themselves. If you look at Jacques Grealish, is a very good inverted winger and helps them in that regard. So now we're getting very, very good outside wingers in Madueke and of course Mudryk. For Madueke, he doesn't really have a very good injury record. Over the last season, he has been prone to some injuries. I'm being tempted to believe that the Chelsea medical team have seen that and they still think that he's good enough and then will stay fit for the team. So going into the game, I think, like I said, there's renewed energy at Chelsea. If you listen to Graham Potter, he sounds excited. He says that the boys are buzzing at Cobham. And apart from that, there has been they have received Rhys James back into full training, Ben Chilwell back into full training. N'Golo Conte has already started. Wesley Fofana has already started. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is back into the team. So it looks like everybody's in tune now. And I've always said that for me, Graham Potter is a good manager. He starts slowly. If you look at his days at Brighton, he had a slow start. Second season had a slow start. But that
was Brighton without any pressure on him.
You see, the Chelsea we have right now is like a Brighton. That's what people are not accepting. Yes.
Chelsea is now like
yes,
Brighton.
Yes,
this is coming from a Chelsea supporter.
It's a transition. Chelsea is not a Chelsea of old again. And I understand we Chelsea fans are sports. You just sleep, wake up. There's a new manager that wins a trophy in 6 months.
And that's what you're used to.
Yes, but then now is change, and people do not like change. I mean, yes, people do not like change, and it's hard for people to accept change.
Yeah.
But in institutions like that, the owner of the club, the board of directors says, you know what, we need change, and it has to be holistic, and that's exactly what they are doing.
And gradual.
Yeah, Christophe Viviol has come in, bought good players. If you listen to how we went ahead to buy Mudryk, Egbali had to wake up one day when Graham Potter said, you know what, the guy is good enough, let's go get him. Traveled to Antalya with Paul Winstanley. They went to meet Mudryk because he was in some sort of a camp with Shakhtar Donetsk. They closed the deal there and then. Somebody is pumping millions into his money. And he says, you know what, I think Graham Potter is a good coach. And I need to give him time. And if you look at the number of years they gave Graham Potter, 5 years, everything tells you that if you listen to Graham Potter, nobody's sacking him. He sleeps, wake up, talks to Egbali. Egbali says, calm down and do your job. We are right behind you. And I think that's what I am preaching to a lot of Chelsea fans. That if you really want to see change, if you look at the Chelsea team, there is a key part of how every team wants to play in the modern game.
Okay.
The kind of midfielders that in Spain they call the La Pausa midfielders. These are the players that invite pressure so that you can play through the pressure and then score goals. The only one we have now, press resistant, is Kovacic. Kani Chukwuemeka Young has that profile a little bit. But if you go to the Man City team, a host of them.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva, everybody. Even go to Arsenal. Thomas Partey can do that. Odegaard can do that. Mesut Ozil will come and do
even
that.
Xhaka.
Albert-Sami Lokonga will do that. Xhaka will do that. They do it very well. Roberto De Zerbi is playing very good football. Now, the key highlight of his play is how a certain young Chelsea centre-back in Levi Kowal used the La Pausa to draw in presses, to play through them, and then gets the team to playing very well. It's because of players like that. So it is time for Chelsea fans to understand that we are in a transition. I do not expect a team that's in transition to paper over the cracks. You deal with the issues. And the first issue they are dealing with is the Chelsea attack has been misfiring. The last time you asked me what is the improvement I've seen at Graham Potter, and I said it's XGs. Graham Potter had the best XG 2 out of the 3 seasons in the English Premier League at Brighton.
Okay.
Anybody wants to peruse the data should go ahead and check. For XGs, and XGs, the expected goals or the quality of chances that you create. He creates the best chance for his teams.
But
it's
they're not
about
scoring.
Yes, it's about a conversion. So if he's getting wingers that are direct enough, explosive enough, and he will be able to create chances for them, it means that he's building something. For Mudryk, who was very close to joining Arsenal, and if you listen again to the deal, Chelsea do not offer more than Arsenal. Both teams offered in excess of another 100 million. It was just the structure in which we wanted to pay. Chelsea are paying Mudryk 95,000 quid. That is no money. He's taking more than Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's taking more than Omari Hutchison. These young players that just joined the team. So it means that Chelsea didn't just attract him with money. And again, if you listen to the CEO of Shakhtar Donetsk, he tells you that, you see, if you don't believe in the Chelsea project now, he will not fault you.
Okay.
But he is saying on authority that per what he has seen, as somebody who has run football for a very long time, the Chelsea project will come to fruition tops in about a year or two.
So if you are one out of the lots, I mean, in terms of the Chelsea supporters, who should understand this? But I'm saying that this is a club that is used to winning.
Exactly.
In fact, 2 seasons ago, they won trophies, actually.
Exactly.
Under Thomas Tuchel, they won the Champions League, right? They beat Man City.
Yes.
And the owners, the board of directors may want a new team, they want a new manager to lead this gradual progression at the club. But the supporters who in this situation will be the major stakeholders may not really understand, and they will begin to mount pressure on the board.
Exactly.
Like what is happening at Everton.
No, Everton's case is different.
I know, but Frank Lampard is not getting the results. So yes, the managers, the board of directors...
So again, Everton is suffering from what Chelsea suffered from in the past. Everton did a lot of scattergun recruitment.
Okay.
They bought Rondon. They bought... some players were not supposed to buy Corey. They just bought the players. It will be they didn't buy them to suit particular purposes.
Okay.
In football now, at the highest level, People look at Arteta's recruitment.
Yeah,
strategic. He buys players based on a set. I mean, even from where they come from.
A certain need at the club. Yeah,
it goes down to those details. Chelsea are just bought. We need a striker. We buy Romelu Lukaku because he's a Romelu Lukaku.
Whether he suit the profile.
Yes, and then we buy him. And then Thomas Tuchel plays with him. Next season says, no, I can't play with him. Graham Potter comes in. He's thinking about buying another striker and all of that. Dacho Fofana is in there and all of that. So it's about that. And also, I have said that in the last 6 years, if you go to, say, Germany, Dortmund and then Bayern for one has had continuous success because of the financial muscle they possess, and then also because they do the recruitment right. In the English Premier League, the team that has had continuous success because one, financial muscle, and because they've done recruitment right, is Manchester City. Chelsea had the financial muscle, but the recruitment had always been wrong throughout the years. In fact, in about 4 or 5 years since Post-Sarri, we've not had very good recruitment. And now we are bearing the brunt for it now. Okay. We are bearing the brunt for it. So
Chelsea's on the right path.
So I think that the team is on the right path.
Okay.
In just 2 weeks, Chelsea has changed the face of its whole attack.
Okay.
Before the season started, there was a certain Raheem Sterling. There was Pulisic. There was Ziyech. There was, a host of wingers who were either injured or misfiring. Now he says, you know what, Mudryk should come in. Joao Felix should come in. Kai Havertz can play as a striker. Then we get Noni Madueke.
Yeah.
The team is rebuilding. The most important part is in midfield. And when Chelsea went Enzo Fernandez and realized that they had to pay in excess of about 120 million, they thought it was too much. Maybe they can wait into the summer to see if they can go and get.
Yeah.
Chelsea is not. And one of the things I'm very much excited about is that for the midfield, Chelsea is not forcing to just buy anybody in. I hear yesterday from the Athletic and other reporters that they are looking to get some players on loan because they went to Moise Caicedo at Brighton and then the fee was too hefty. So they are getting maybe possible some loan players to come and augment the team. At the back, Badlashil, 21 or 22 years of age, signing 6 years to 7 years contract. Huge amortization for the fee. After him, what's the name? Fofana, young, 7 years contract. Huge amortization. Rhys James has signed a new contract extension. These are all young players that are coming through the rank. And there is a manager one of the things Arsenal did very well when they hit a rough patch was that prime video that they did. Arsenal's one was not called All or Nothing. It was also All or Nothing, right? He gave the fans an insight of what the team was doing. And yesterday I picked up reports from Matt Law saying that Chelsea are going to start their own All or Nothing too. So the producers of that series are Americans.
Okay.
And Manuel Gonoskaya and Abramovich, they proposed it and Chelsea said no, they weren't interested. Now they've seen Todd Boehly and the likes. Apparently Chelsea are interested in that and they want to start something. That will give the fans an insight of what is going on.
I see.
What happened to Arsenal when Aubameyang was forced to leave Arsenal in January? A lot of fans were asking, why are you letting Aubameyang go? But when they saw the primetime video and they realized that Aubameyang was insubordinate in camp, they understood.
Okay.
When they saw Arteta's reaction in the dressing room, they understood. Graham Potter has said several times that he is not a kind of manager like Antonio Conte or Thomas Tuchel who sits at the post-match press conference and then throws tantrums at everybody. No, he's not that guy. But again, he's not a can. He has feelings.
Okay.
When he goes in there with his players, he knows exactly what to say to them. Maybe some of these things will unveil and uncover the things that he does as a manager for them to understand. And now the game has gone beyond just playing on the pitch.
Okay.
Again, Todd Boehly and Agabali said they want 1 billion. That's the kind of money they want to be getting from Chelsea annually. So it's a huge ton of money. They want to commercialize everything. And I think that's the part that Chelsea, that's the reason why for somebody like me, yes, I'm not enjoying the results. Yes, I know it's a hard time.
So you are not expecting instant results, yeah?
No.
That's it.
Not at all.
How long should we wait for this project to bear fruit? Like how many years?
I think that for Graham Potter, we should see something concrete by the end of the season.
End of the season?
Yes.
Is it not too early for you?
No, I think that, you see, I'm not saying that we should be a finished article.
Yeah.
But we should see concrete. We should see
progress.
Improvement. Yeah, we should see improvement, progress.
Okay.
We should see something that tells us that okay, we were here.
Okay.
Now we are there.
Okay.
Now we are going here. Now we are going here.
Great.
We should see all of that by the end of the season. Let's go to Manchester United.
Sergio Ramos,
I'm a boy,
but let's talk about the game. Liverpool.
I'm going to the game, but I want to conclude with Manchester United. When Sir Alex Ferguson left, David Moyes came in.
Louis Van Gaal came in.
Louis Van Gaal.
He won the FA Cup.
FA Cup. But you know people that won caps. Mauricio Sarri had never won a cup before.
Jose Mourinho came in. He won trophies.
Of course.
The last manager to have won trophy for Man United. He won 3 trophies. Community Shield, Europa League, and Carling Cup.
Van Gaal, Mourinho, and these are serial winners.
But they won. So they achieved a certain purpose instantly.
The team and again, Man United do not want that. They didn't want Mourinho just winning the Europa League and just going home to sleep.
Okay.
They wanted more than that. They wanted continued success. They wanted somebody that would go neck and neck with Man City in the league. They wanted somebody that could take the Man United brand a notch higher. That was the problem that they are having. Now, as it starts now, they seem to be on the right path with Erik ten Hag, and then they want to move forward. So, at the end of the day, I think that's where we are in talking about the game. I think that Jurgen Klopp in his pre-match press conference has said that he is in a same soup as Chelsea with injuries.
But that's true.
Oh yes, I agree with him. But I think that one Jurgen Klopp's issue also has come on the back of not so good spending. So in the middle of the pack, when Gini Wijnaldum left, I have not seen any proper replacement of a box-to-box midfielder in the middle of the pack for them. And if you look at those days, Gini Wijnaldum was the sole engine to push the Liverpool team up to press and win those balls back. He's not done that. Henderson doesn't have the legs. Milner doesn't have the legs. Alcantara is a deep line playmaker, so can only do his job and not do the rest. They wanted to rely on players like Alexander Chamberlain, Harvey Elliott, and all of that, but then they have also not delivered. So Liverpool are suffering. Up top, since Sadio Mane left, there have also been some shortage of goals in there. Yes, Mane is injured and all of that, but then Salah in about 5 games now has been misfiring. They brought in Cody Gakpo. He's yet to hit the ground running. If you look at this man, Darwin Núñez, I think Darwin Núñez is an exciting striker because he keeps on running, he keeps on pushing, even when he's not getting the goals. So if Darwin Núñez is in the team, he's going to help. In the Liverpool setup, for me, Virgil van Dijk is very instrumental as a leader at the back. So if he's not going to be in the team, definitely it's going to affect how the team will play. But then again, Ibu Konate, Matip, Joe Gomez have been very, very solid anytime he is out of the team. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson are all very, very good players. My problem with the Liverpool team is that while there is some buzz in Chelsea, and Chelsea feel like, okay, there's some renewed energy with the new players that have come in, and maybe that will give them some confidence off the back of the win against Crystal Palace. At Liverpool, the persistent issue of injuries with players like Atamelo, who are even coming to come and help, are still lingering on. Midfielders like Henderson and all of that are still lingering on. I understand it's at the Anfield, but this is a Chelsea team under Thomas Tuchel with the same core of players that went away to Anfield to get a 2-2 draw. A game that I think that Chelsea should have won. Chelsea has not won at Anfield for a very long time now. And I think that this is a game that's possibly going to be a springboard for Graham Potter. I'm expecting Chelsea not to lose this game against
So double chance Liverpool. For Chelsea for you. Okay. Okay.
No, quick one before. You see, I have watched a lot of Chelsea games.
This season?
Not this season. I mean, some years
over
back.
The years.
And I've had people who are younger than I am. I am older than they are.
Yeah.
Asked me when I started supporting Chelsea, and I asked them what team they support, and you mentioned Liverpool. I asked them, so when did you start supporting Liverpool? Because I've supported Chelsea for a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those latter-day saints. Those who came to Chelsea because of Michael Essien. No. I supported when Viali and Zola and the other guys. Dennis Wise and those guys were there. I was there. I was a Chelsea supporter. So I saw Michael Ballack, I saw Essien, I saw Makelele, I saw all those guys that
you saw quality
at that time. I never thought those players would be around for eternity. That Chelsea will always have Michael Ballack or have Michael Essien or Makelele or Drogba or Terry or all those players that I can never mention, Peter Cech and those guys that I can mention. I never thought that those players would be there for eternity. So I can appreciate the direction that Chelsea is taking now. Get these young guys to come and play for the team. So when Todd Bowley and his consortium took over Chelsea, I think it was May 2022. They spent close to about £400 million on transfers alone.
Wow.
£400 million. And Abramovich, when he took over Chelsea in 2003, to the time that he sold the team to Todd Bowley in May 2022, had also spent close to about £2 billion in the transfer market. So it tells you the level of activity that Chelsea normally engages in when there's the transfer window is open. the question that I keep asking myself is this. Chelsea, I concede, have lost a lot of players through injury.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the players are not available for selection. But I keep telling people that it didn't happen one day.
Yeah. Or in one game.
In one game. All the players that we mentioned, they didn't get injured in one single game. So some have been in and out of the team. One person goes off, another person in. That maybe with the exception of N'Golo Kante, who has been out for a very long time. On any given day, if you tell me that Edu Mendy is on the list of injured players and because of that Chelsea is suffering, I will not agree with you. Because Edu Mendy, before he picked up an injury, was not any better than Kepa. So, if Mendy is fit, there's no way you can convince me that he will keep the post and Kepa will sit on the bench. No. So, for me, the fact that he's out and you want to create the impression that because Mendy is out, Chelsea is suffering, I do not agree with you.
Let's wrap up in 2 minutes, please.
I do not agree with you.
Yeah.
Chelsea have quality now, as we speak now.
Really?
To beat Nottingham Forest.
To beat Fulham?
To beat Fulham.
The other time you took us through the first 11.
Yes, to beat Fulham. To beat Brighton Hove Albion. To beat all those teams that Chelsea have struggled to beat this season.
And right, so they beat Crystal Palace.
They have the quality. They have the quality now. And this press is something that Fifi mentioned. Kovacic, fine. But Kovacic's presence has ensured that Chelsea have won some very, 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 very major titles.
Yeah.
Only one person. Has his form dipped? No. My worry anytime has been the person at the helm of affairs.
Are you not being too critical on him?
No. Just as I was critical of Otuado, of Sika Akono, of Okwesi Appiah, we had the discussion early this morning. I mean, we must see results.
Yeah.
Given the quality that Chelsea has now, we must see it. So if you play against teams like Nottingham Forest and those teams and you are not able to get the results, then I'll have a problem because I look at the Chelsea starting 11 on any given day and there's quality in the team. For me, the problem has to do with the direction. And people have drawn parallel with Mikel Arteta, and I always tell you this, that when Arteta was leaving Manchester City for Arsenal, Pep Guardiola didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because he saw something in Mikel Arteta. I'm throwing this question out there to any Chelsea fan who is listening to me this morning. Do you see any hope in Graham Potter as a person who can lead the Chelsea revolution? Do you see that in him? For me, the answer is a big no.
Okay, so that's Javier Clemente. But Javier, quick one. Man United Arsenal. Your prediction, quick one.
No, but we're having this discussion of. I've heard Eric Ten Hag mention the fact that the last time they played, Casemiro didn't play and they won. Didn't he play in that game?
I think he played some few minutes in that game.
I don't know whether he's forgotten, because I know Casemiro played some last minutes of the game. So when he says that, Casemiro didn't play in the first game and they won, but he played. Casemiro played in that game.
It's really going to affect them. That one day we have to admit.
Definitely. So if you watched the last game that Manchester United played versus Crystal Palace, when he picked up the yellow card, I mean the camera was just thrown on Eric and he was just shaking his head like that. He was just about to bring Fred on.
Yeah.
But he wasted just some 2 or 3 minutes and that incident happened. It is going to affect Manchester United. We are looking at 2 teams. We just talked about Chelsea and Liverpool. And I told you that there are 2 teams that are struggling. But we're also looking at 2 teams that are also doing very well in the Premier League. In Arsenal and Manchester United.
Yeah.
Manchester United, look at their position and look at where they started and look at where they've got into now. It is going to be a very, very, very interesting game. But Arsenal.
Playing at home.
Arsenal. The way the guys are playing. The way the guys are playing this season.
Playing some good football in there.
Favorites.
Certainly, they will start the game as favorite. Thank you very much, Javier Clemente and Fifi Manfred, for coming through with your analysis on the fourth segment of the show. You're still live on the Super Station Love 99.5 FM. The program is Kickoff. You're going to end at 9 a.m. and cross over to Joy 99.7 FM to bring you news file. A quick commercial break. We'll be back shortly to zoom into the local segment of the show. Chan tournament. Hey, Ghana won over Sudan by 3-1. But the question is, can we qualify to the final? Or can we make it to the final based on the performance that you saw the other time in Constantine against Sudan? More of this coming up shortly. Please stay.
Graham Potter has a new role for new signing Mudryk.
Good, really good. Young player, exciting player, fantastic speed, 1v1, can attack the back line, and now we're just going to help him adapt to the Premier League, adapt to us. He's obviously come from a mid-season break, hasn't played so much football recently, but has been training well, so we'll obviously assess him and see how much he can play at the weekend. Yeah, there's a chance. Well, again, it's how much he can do. I think 90 minutes, no, but there's probably a role for him at some stage in the game.
Right, so you heard from Graham Potter speaking.
You didn't know
what he said.
Okudia Park, so I'm now talking.
But you didn't know what he said.
How do you press conference and not
It is just not working. It doesn't mean that he's not good. I mean, it will work with time. It's happening to Mikel Arteta.
Press conference. Look at the way he's speaking.
But he needs to be confident. Speak with confidence. Let's continue.
Let's move on to Liverpool boss and Jurgen Klopp, who is playing his 1,000th game with 3 clubs. He started with Mainz 05 and also with Dortmund, and now with Liverpool. And he has been speaking about his 1,000th game.
Work pretty much through 22 years, and then you can somehow arrive there. Otherwise, with a few other the clubs would have sacked me a bit earlier than a year on break. Then you need. Then I'm sitting here and I'm 60 and maybe 1,000. So it's a massive thing. I feel really blessed. I have obviously 3 fantastic clubs, which gave me the opportunity to do the job. So that's what's going through my mind. It's not. I don't think I learned. I learned a lot, obviously, but I wouldn't know what is the most important thing I've learned. But it's when this week people told me, because I forgot it, that it will happen, then I really start, then it come pictures just coming up, and the start at Mainz, the start at Dortmund, the start here, all these kind of things coming up, and when you come in somewhere, you never know how it will go.
Right, so that was Jurgen Klopp speaking there on his 1,000th game. Moving on, and another big fixture in the English Premier League, of course, is Manchester United against Arsenal. And of course, Erik ten Hag will be without Casemiro, but he says that he has done it without Casemiro in the first game, and we look forward to this one.
I think as Manchester United, always you have to look for solutions and always you have to look for better. We will do. We will be now research, and if there are opportunities, we have to go for it. As I said, beat last time Arsenal without Casemiro, we have an idea how to do it. Yeah, it's obvious they are in a really good run. I think they deserve position where they are now. It's a really good structure. How they play, there's a really good mentality, winning attitude in the team, and that's why they are now top of the list. So they are in a great run, but it's up to us to beat that run, and we will do everything to do that.
All right, so let's get into some of the other matches. And in Spain, Atletico de Madrid will be playing against Valladolid. There was Barcelona against Getafe at 5:30 p.m. And of course, today at 6:30 p.m. in Egypt, there's a Cairo derby. Zamalek will be playing against Al Ahly at the Cairo International Stadium. In South Africa, there's Kaizer Chiefs, who lie fifth. They will be playing against Mamelodi Sundowns at 6 p.m. at the FNB Sports Stadium. In Germany, there's Frankfurt versus Schalke at 2:30. Bochum will be playing as host to Hertha Berlin at 2:30 p.m. In Italy, there's Fiorentina versus Torino at 7:45 p.m. And in Spain, of course, Sevilla will be also playing as host to Cadiz on that one. But let's finish with the Arsenal Manchester United game, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been speaking ahead of the game, and he says that Leandro Trossard is a very good signing for Arsenal.
Well, we are really happy to have him. Obviously, it's a player that we have followed for a while now. When the opportunity came, we have the necessity, obviously, to have a player in the front line that is versatile enough to play in different positions. He knows the league, he has enough experience here, and I think he can have immediate impact in the team. I think short term, but as well medium and long term, and I think he gives it all that. He's a very intelligent player. Obviously, when you look at his career, what he's done in the last few years, he's a player that fits our way of playing for sure, and we are happy to have him.
So that was Mikel Arteta speaking on new signing Leandro Trossard. But in the English Premier League, the other matches coming up today, we've got Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Leicester City will be playing Brighton and Hove Albion at 3 p.m. We've got Southampton versus Aston Villa. West Ham United have a date against Everton. There is another crunch encounter between Jordan Ayew's Crystal Palace and Newcastle United. That game kickoff is 5:30 p.m. today. Now, Felix, tomorrow, apart from the Arsenal versus Man United game, we've got Man City versus Wolves, and Leeds United will be playing against Brentford in there. In the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona will be up against Getafe tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Athletic Bilbao will be playing against Real Madrid. So these are the major fixtures coming up in the major leagues in Europe. Have you? Chelsea versus Liverpool. What a game it will be.
Oh, what is it going to be?
Two big clubs in England. Two stragglers. Two struggling teams in the English Premier League.
No. Some years back. I mean, if maybe 2 years, 3 years ago, Chelsea versus Liverpool for me was a very, very, very big game.
Today, at Anfield Stadium.
But was that in your intro?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about your introduction. You asked me about Liverpool and Chelsea.
About Liverpool and Chelsea, that game was in my introduction.
Frankly, I'm expecting nothing from the game. This season, I've closed my mind to certain expectations of Liverpool.
You've tuned your mind and your heart.
I've tuned my mind up because I think that Jurgen Klopp has, amphibious. That's how I see it. Because when you watch Liverpool, we are not that creative. The changing pressing is not working. We are not pressing enough. We are losing almost every second ball. Our defense is lethargic. Nothing is working. Matip is playing as if he's playing in an interco when he's on the pitch. Van Dijk comes with Mapuka kind of defending where he's always expecting people to throw their bodies.
Hey, but relax, Van Dijk. I mean, not so long ago, you got tagged him as the best defender ever in the history of the English Premier League. I was not part of those people who did that. He's a good defender. Yeah. It will be unfair for me to say he's not. He's a good defender, but I think that we raised him beyond his capabilities. Let me put it that way. Maybe the injury too affected him anyway.
Yes, but I think that unlike Chelsea, where this week I saw Kante coming back, I saw Reece James training, I saw Ben Chilwell training. Liverpool, most of our players are still at the hospital. This season, our players have spent more time at the hospital than on the pitch, and that has been our woes. Klopp is failing to do some signings which I do not understand. We need midfielders. If you look at Liverpool, for example, I do not understand why Milner should play more than 70 minutes.
Okay, so for you at Liverpool, it is not a case of the tactical prowess of Jurgen Klopp, but you need personnel on the field of play, like quality players.
It's a combination of both.
Because but it's the same Jurgen Klopp anyway.
No, you see, the signature of Klopp from Mainz to Dortmund to Liverpool has been about pressing. We don't press.
Maybe he doesn't have the personnel to do that.
That's to execute that. So if you don't have the personnel, what do you do? Liverpool is a top club. For me, it's the best club in England. The numbers and statistics show it. We are the best club in England.
Only one Premier League trophy in 30 years.
In totality, we have.
That's a fact.
No, in totality, how many Premier League trophies do we have?
But when the Premier League,
come on, you said one. It's a fact. You are right, but I'm also asking you, how many in totality do we have?
No, you can say that. You can say that.
How many?
I give you a fact. You can also give you a fact.
We have 6 Champions League. We have 19 league trophies.
I see.
So yes, the fact that we've won 1 in 30 years even shows you
when the proper Premier League started. That's what I mean.
No, you see, in the history of the English Premier League, yes, the Premier League era began 30 years ago. But in the entire history, the trophy that we've won have not been written off.
I see.
So it's on record that Liverpool has 19 league trophies. The only team that beat us in England is Manchester United with 20.
I see.
Right? In the Champions League, we won 6 champions. There's no English team that has ever even won 4 Champions League. Man U has 3. They are the closest, and they are Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, so they are 2.
So Liverpool is bigger than Man United.
Of course.
Okay, no, okay.
With no scintilla of doubt.
Okay, so back to
So I'm saying that if you're a big boy, you behave like a big boy. So if indeed you think that you do not have the personnel, as we are arguing, for them to do that pressing with no Liverpool for, you should get the personnel. I do not understand why Klopp seems as if everything is fine. But we all know that everything is not fine. Everything has never been the same since Mane left.
Okay. All right, Gigi, thank you very much. That was a quick bite on Liverpool versus Chelsea. But Avi, I want you to take a look at the Anfield Stadium.
But was that in your intro?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about your introduction. You asked me about Liverpool and Chelsea.
About Liverpool and Chelsea, that game was in my introduction.
Frankly, I'm expecting nothing from the game. This season, I've closed my mind to certain expectations of Liverpool.
You've tuned your mind and your heart.
I've tuned my mind up because I think that Jurgen Klopp has, amphibious. That's how I see it. Because when you watch Liverpool, we are not.
And I've just been joined on the telephone by Ghana's chief scout, Ebenezer Sefa. Coach, good morning.
Hello?
Coach, good morning. Hello, Coach. Hey, Andy, please call him again. The line is not working. Okay, so Coach, we'll try and then establish contact with you once again. We want to hear from Coach Ebenezer Sefa on the performance of the Black Galaxies last Thursday in Constantine against Sudan. A game the Black Galaxies won by 3-1. Daniel Afriye, Banias, Suraj Seidu, and then of course Kunadi Yaro with the 3 goals for the Black Galaxies of Ghana. Okay, are we on? So let me try and then speak to Coach Ebenezer Sifa. Coach, good morning.
Morning.
I hope you are fine.
I'm blessed.
Okay, we thank God. So, Coach, this morning I want us to talk about the Black Galaxies of Ghana. We beat Sudan by 3 goals to 1. But first, before that game, we had lost our first game against Madagascar. Was that a sort of reaction that you were expecting from the players that you saw against Sudan?
Can you come again, please?
Hello, Coach.
I'm hearing you, but I didn't hear you, so I'll say come back again.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so I was saying that, we beat Sudan by 3 goals to 1 last Thursday in the CHAN tournament, but before that game, we had lost our first game to Madagascar. Was that the sort of reaction that you saw or you were expecting from the team in that game against Sudan?
I'll say yes and no. Yes, one, because of the scoreline, because I wanted us to win,
okay,
which we won. And 2, the upgrade of the performance. It is something that it's not what I was expecting anyway, but on the whole, it was better than the first game.
Okay, so it was better in terms of which department, the attack, the defense, the goalkeeping, or?
1, it was better player selection. 2, tactical changes. 3, performance of players.
Oh, great. But some people are complaining about the performance of Kofi Koji, especially in that particular game. I don't know what you saw anyway. What can you share with us based on his performance?
Well, to be honest with you, Kofi Koji that I know, yes, in as much that I also feel he didn't live up to expectation. Though I wasn't the coach on the touchline, I felt that Kofi Koji was given a specific role because of his stature, because of his height and his strength. He was asked to stay on top so that he can hold on possession, hold on play, so that the offensive players like Sylvester Simba of Dreams FC, David Abagan of RTU, anytime they come forward, so he can release for them. And also try to take their defense away and create space for them, especially their captain, which I think he started doing it in the middle of the second half. That is somewhere 25th to the 30th minute. That was where he started doing it, holding on and then taking the defenders away. But from the first 45 minutes, he was awful. But I think that the coach, the technical team also knew what time to take him off and what they were expecting of him. Because I'm sure when they went to the dressing room for the first half, he was spoken to, and that was the reason why he changed a little bit in the second half. But for me, I think I have to agree with the people. Kofi that I know, the performance wasn't what I was expecting.
Okay, so you have seen the Galaxies against Madagascar. We lost that game against Sudan. We beat them. Where are you expecting them to reach in this tournament based on the performance that we have seen in the CHAN this year?
Seriously, I am a Ghanaian. I want them to win the trophy.
Okay.
Since 2014, we've not been able to qualify. They will qualify, and I don't expect the team to win. I expect them to win. In as much we didn't do well in our first game based on player selection and the tactics that we played. But then there was a little bit variation and changes in the second game against Sudan. And we also understand that Sudan is a very solid team.
Okay.
In as much they have about 3 or 4 of their senior national team players that play Ghana that were in the squad. But you cannot compare Ghana in terms of the domestic league to Sudanese league because there are a lot of foreigners out there. People do not understand why our league probably is going down because it is foreigners that makes league strong.
Hey.
Yes. Go to the EPL.
So coach, wait, the Sudan league is better than that of the Ghana Premier League?
No, what I'm saying is that if I say it is better, not in terms of players.
Okay.
In terms of facilities, in terms of structures.
Okay.
In terms of monetary payment. You understand my point?
Okay.
Because Sudan can pay $10,000. Can Ghana a club pay a player $3,000, $4,000? No. And I'm saying that the foreigners also contribute to the success of a league. Remember 1990 Gold Coast then. They have in Waki Bombe, a Togolese #1 goalkeeper. They have Kone from Ivory Coast. They have Baratem Aten from Cameroon. Comprises of the then national team players like Sike Akono, Yawa Champon, Ebenezer Hagan, Augustine Ahimfo. And based on that, those players have also played in the league for how many years? Look at the 2000 House of Folk setup. How many years did they play under Joseph Tukwefiu?
Yeah.
But today, what do you see? A player from Division 2 gets into House of Folk or Kotoko, the next season he is gone.
Yeah.
And how many foreigners do we have in the league? Let's assume Mbella or Fabio Gama has still stayed in the Ghana league. What do you think Kotoko team will have been?
Very strong.
If their salary has been increased, probably to say $4,000, do you think they'll be moving to Sudan? I don't think so. When you go to the EPL, go and check how many foreigners and the quality that they brought. That is what people talk about the EPL. Go to the Italian Serie A. Let's come to Africa. Go to South Africa and go and see how many foreigners are playing there. Go to Zambia. Go to Algeria. Go to Egypt and go and check how many Ghanaian players from our league are playing in the Egyptian league. Apart from Ghana, how many Congolese are playing in the Egyptian league? How many Nigerians are playing in and how much money are they being paid? So the quality, of course, the league depends also on foreigners that you bring on board. When Kotoko were having Frank Achu, you remember Clovis Kambu. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yes, and then House of Folk were having. Let me just go. Just listen. Rabi Ogoka, when he was playing for House of Folk, he was still playing for this national team.
Quality player, yeah.
When we have Joseph Ocheya, he was playing for this national team. That is Kotoko. You understand?
Salam Abdullahi.
So, today, what do we see? How many foreigners do you have? When you go to Swaziland, you have one from Burkina Faso. I don't think even the Burkinabes themselves know him. When you go to RTU, they have a goalkeeper from Cameroon. I don't think the people of Cameroon even know him. When you come to Kotoko, yes, you have Stephen Makola who is trying to, and I'm sure if he can stay for 2 years, you will see a different Stephen Makola. But I'm not sure Kotoko will let him stay because they will sell.
So now then, coach, I know you are a Ghanaian and you expect the team to win the trophy. But I asked you that question based on the performance that you have seen. I mean, you have seen the opponents as well in this year's CHAN tournament.
Yes.
I mean, realistically, where can we reach based on the performance that we have seen?
Realistically, we'll be in the finals. Do you know why? I'm not saying because I'm a Ghanaian.
Okay.
Because there was an improvement over the first game that we played.
Okay.
And I'm sure Anoka and the second guy need to work on our defense. In as much as these are the players that we have in Algeria, to me, these are not the best players in Ghana that we took to Algeria. Because if you ask me to pick 23 players, I'll pick some players ahead of some of those players that are in Algeria. If I ask you to do same, you do the same. Because I believe that a player like Richmond Lamptey, Richard Bodu Agadas should be in the squad. Likewise, somebody also feels that there's a player like Ibrahim Salifi should be part of the squad. So for me, I mean, a free Meshach of Recruit Chelsea. Someone also thinks that he should be in the squad. So the notion that we have our best players from the local team that is representing us, no, I don't agree. But the point is that there was an improvement from the first game. Let's see the offensive play. We played 2 pivots in the first game. This time we play only in Sobila. Saw the performance of David Abagana. I mean, this is the first major game for Sylvester Simba, who played for Dream Safety. How many people knew him? They got to know him when under 23. The Meteors played Mozambique in Kumasi.
Yeah.
That was why people saw him. And this is his major assignment. Look at Kotoko's Augustine in Japan.
Fantastic player.
Even in Kotoko, how many matches does he get the opportunity to play because of Christopher Neti? But look at his young boys, and Karim Tito's under 20. He was not given the opportunity to play, or probably somebody like Filemon Bafo was playing ahead of him. Today, look at him today. Look at the first game. He came on, and look at the second game performance. And what do you think he's going to do in the third game if we are there? Yes, in as much as that I believe that Kofi Koji didn't perform, there were other strikers that are also on the bench. I mean, Augustine Boateng from Kotoku Warriors. How many people knows him? But if you follow the Ghana Premier League, you know that, yes, that guy can also do something. We have Henry Ensu of Bekum Chelsea in the team, and normally use him as a pivot. So for me, I believe that it is about how the coaches also read the opponent and also plan the game. Fortunately for us, Glacier Aku is fit. In the next game, probably is going to play. As like you see for Olympics, it's okay. Who missed the second game are also free to play. So the coaches have a pool of players to select from. But I believe that it should be a tactical game that we should play probably in our next game. And our technical bench, I'm talking about the assistant coaches, should be able to read the game every game in quarters. First 15 minutes, second 15 minutes, and the last 15 minutes. So the moment you read the opponent, you communicate to the head coach who is on the touchline. And at the end of the day, I believe in the individual attributes of our players. And of course, when we communicate match after match, I'm sure the boys will do it. I have full of confidence because yes, the last game that we played against Sudan, I was on TV and on radio. They say, man, in the kind, I believe we'll beat them. And people are saying that, Ghana, we were able to hit the crossbar, we were able to hit the post twice. They put the ball at the back of our net, which was disallowed. We also scored, which was disallowed. We had one-on-one with the goalkeeper. They had the same, but we took chances. 4 shots on target, which is about 8 shots that we took. They took only 4. So statistically and all the department, in as much that they play a wing play in the first half, they were able to expose Davis Costa, but in the second half they couldn't. It tells you that they read the game and probably they did. I mean, in every game that he played, there may be one or two glorious opportunities. Look at how Efriebane messed that after the second goal. He messed that one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Jonah Tukwue's decision to pass quick was a problem. And I'm sure that the technical team will go through all these things and they work towards it. And I still have confidence.
Okay, so Coach,
unless I don't follow the Premier League.
Well, I know you are confident, but speaking of Efriebane, I mean, your boy, I mean, some Ghanaians are saying that, I mean, he has been disappointing so far in the tournament. I don't know whether you share similar view.
I agree with them. I agree with them in the sense that what is Efriebane playing for? Is he playing to seek for a contract outside the shores of this country? He has already signed for FC Zurich.
Yeah.
He's now a professional player. But his contract ends on the 4th at the end of the tournament. And at the end of the tournament, the Efriebane is no more a Hasselhoff player.
Yeah.
He has signed his contract, he has done his medical. He went to the World Cup. So what is he playing for? What is the motivation for Efriebane? So I believe that he really wants to make an impact in this particular tournament. Then he should make a name for himself. That one Efriebane 2023 in the CHAN tournament that was held in Algeria contributed for Ghana to win the trophy.
So for you, Efriebane is not motivated for this tournament?
No, I'm asking a simple question. Is he motivated? Efriebane has already signed for FC Zurich.
Yeah, that's true.
And is he playing to get injured? Is he playing to entertain or what?
So does it mean that
most of these players are there thinking that after this tournament they should be able to get an offer?
I know. So does it mean that coach?
So if Efriebane has already signed a contract with FC Zurich, and we know Efriebane how he plays, and look at the output in the first game, he was just running all over, absolutely zero. Yes, in as much that Efriebane normally scores from the sport kick, which I also admire because it's not every player that can score from the sport kick. But I believe that when he was given the role from the left side of attack, he contributed better than what he did in the first game. Unfortunately, he just had a record. So you need to put a fear behind us in our next game. That is if we are there.
So coach, maybe we should not have taken him to the tournament.
No. You see, sometimes before he went to sign for FC Zurich, you and I were aware that he has not renewed his contract with Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Like Brighton J. He himself called an offer and told him, coach, I cannot go because my contract runs out on the 12th of January. The tournament starts on the 13th. Adriana has not approached me, Brighton J, to renew my contract. So even if I stay in camp and my contract runs out on the 12th, I cannot play in that competition. And moreover, I have an offer from Tanzania that I have to go. Even also from Tamaif, you see, I have offer from France that I have to go.
Coach, we have to leave it here. Thank you very much for coming through this morning.
What could you
do, Johnny? Yeah. That was Ghana's chief scout Ebenezer Sefa speaking to us on telephone on the Black Galaxies. He touched on the performance of Kofi Koji and how Efriebane has fared so far in the tournament and the team's improvements as a whole against Sudan in Constantine last Thursday. But before you come through, I need to do this for my good friend. His name is Eminem. He stays at the Fijuase. Eminem is inviting all his friends in the Fijuase to the funeral rite of his father, Openin Eduardo Fori Mensah. It will take place at the Fijuase in Tunkumso on 28th of January 2023. So Eminem says he's inviting all his friends in the Fijuase to help him mourn his father in there. Eminem will come on board and support you. Have you? CHAN tournament, Galaxies 3, Sudan 1.
Well, see, before I look at the tournament, I just want a quick reaction to what Coach said about the quality of our league and the fact that we don't have foreigners in the league, and because of that, I mean, some years back we didn't have foreigners in our league.
No, but some years back he mentioned some qualities and some foreigners too.
No.
This goalkeeper of us,
yes, I know. Was in Obuasi.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. So you're aware of this?
No. But it has not always been the case.
Okay.
That our league has been very good because we used to have foreigners in our league. When we had Razako, Pukefi and those guys playing for the local teams, Kotoko and House of Folk,
we didn't have a lot of foreigners.
We didn't have. How many foreigners did we have in the league? We didn't. So it has not always been the case that once you have foreigners in your league automatically becomes very competitive or becomes very good. I consider that sometimes you need to have a blend of some foreigners and some locals in a team, and it helps. So if you go to some of the North African countries, for instance, the Alis and Zamalek and the other guys, they play because they have some foreigners in their fold. Some can even afford to go to Brazil and buy a player. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
TP Mazembe and those guys, they have foreigners. I own Nieji and the other guys have all gone to play for TP Mazembe some years back. So sometimes fine, but it has not always been the case. And we have a lot of examples in Ghana here to show that when we used to have Razak and those guys playing at local league, we didn't have foreigners. But the league was very good at that.
Football has evolved over time, so maybe you need an influx of these foreigners.
No, you don't need foreigners. You don't need foreigners in your league to make your league very competitive. No, you don't. The league can be competitive without foreigners. And we have so many examples to show. Your league can be very competitive without foreigners. Yes. You can have a competitive league without foreigners. So it's not blanket as if that the only time that you can have a competitive league, a very good league, is that you must have foreigners in it. No. And I'm saying that those times we didn't have foreigners. When Kotoko won African Cup, when House was all over the place, competing in Africa.
Dominated by local players.
Not even almost. Entirely local players.
Yeah, number 1 to number 11.
Local players.
Yeah.
And those local players played for the Black Stars. Those local players were good enough to play for the Black Stars.
But now things have changed.
And at the point, things have changed fine, so you can have a blend.
Okay.
But to say that your league can only be competitive if you have foreigners, I disagree.
Okay, well, I think I get it.
Yeah, I'm saying that you can have a competitive league without foreigners in your league. So my next thing is that those who have always been at our back, criticizing and saying all things about us,
as in journalists,
that we are against the inclusion of local players in the Black Star squad. What are they saying now? On the strength of what they've seen so far in Algeria, the local players played against Madagascar in the first game. Then the second game we played against Sudan, we won. The first game we lost by one goal to Madagascar. And the second game we won by 3 goals to 1. What are they saying?
What do you want to say? I don't want you to run the local players under the bus this morning.
No, have I run them under the bus?
So what's your point?
They've run themselves under the bus. They themselves have run themselves under the bus. They have done that. I am not doing that.
Based on 2 matches.
So how many matches do you want to be convinced that they are not good enough? Most of them are not good enough, or even all of them are not even good enough to play for the Black Stars.
I mean, not to ask it where. Not to engage you in a banter, but you see, we have seen players being invited to the Black Stars on a consistent basis. They churn out poor results, poor output, poor performance, yet they are always called into the national team. So local player plays only 2 matches.
If that's the argument you want us to have, then
but we have seen that with the Black Stars.
So we must also invite inferior local players, because we've had situations where we've had some players who are inferior and they play for the Black Stars, or they've been invited consistently. So we must also invite inferior players. If you want us to have the argument, then I agree with you.
No, please, that's
but
not
what
I'm
the point I'm making is this:
Uh-huh.
that look at the quality of material that we have assembled in Algeria. Our first game that we played against Madagascar, the second game that we played against Sudan, and tell me if you have any player, or if you have cited a single player who is good enough to play for the Black Stars.
Not really. Maybe a Bagner, but I mean, the position that he plays currently in the Black Stars is not going to, as it were, displace any of the midfielders in the Black Stars.
So it tells you that we don't have quality. So when some of us say that we don't have quality local players sometimes to play for the Black Stars, and you come at us, I mean, you are not being very fair to the issue. They've been given opportunity to prove themselves elsewhere or somewhere in Algeria. And look at the performance that they are churning out.
Didn't you see improvement in that game against Sudan?
Improvement yet, but are they quality enough for Black Stars? That's the point I'm making. We are looking at the senior national in the Black Stars.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's the point I'm making. That our league is gone down. We don't have quality locally again. In a few years back, that the coach was talking about, signed for FC Zurich. He's a semi-professional, or he's already
a professional.
Already a professional player. No, maybe a semi-foreign based professional player. Let me put it that way. Has he been good enough for the Black Galaxies
in this tournament?
Yes.
No.
Has he been good enough?
No.
I agree with Coach when he mentioned Agadas and Richmond Lamptey. But I think that's 1 or 2 other guys that may be on any given day. You want them to also be included on the list. So I watched the Galaxies play and I asked myself why Agadas is not in the team. He's one fine player. Very, very, very fine player. Combative in midfield, defensively is very good. But he was not even selected. Then they select Kofi Koji. I mean, the guy has just forgotten how to play football. Real football anymore. But he's in the team.
Yeah.
Look at his performance against Sudan.
Poor. Very, very bad.
So why was he selected?
No, you see.
How many goals has he scored in the domestic league?
I think that Kofi Koji was selected to suit a certain style of play. So for example, if you are playing a game that chances are difficult to come by, most coaches resort to long balls, crosses, and what have you. So Kofi Koji, being that sort of player who see that profile, bulky striker like a Didier Drogba in the 18-yard box, rubbing shoulders with the defenders, with area doers and what have you. But to my surprise, this guy decided to abandon the 18-yard box. And many a time he was hugging the line. He was rather on the touchline, racing with the Sudanese players. You can't even run. You can't run. You don't have that ability. Why do you want to hug the line and, as it were, race the Sudanese player? You can't.
So the point I'm making is that, did we get our selections right for this competition? Are there some players that we could have? I mean, we will always come back and talk about some of these things, and it's rather too late. Rather always come back and talk about some, whether we normally get our selection to some of these major competitions right. Whether we select the right players for competitions. Because just like Coach said, there are so many quality players that we've left behind.
Yeah. The top scorer at the moment in the Ghana Premier League, they don't go to the Chan tournament.
So many of them that we've left behind. Then when it comes to the issue of the Black Stars, we want our top scorer to be in the Black Stars. But our top scorer is not good enough to be in the local Black Stars. To be with its peers. It's not good enough to be with its peers. But instead, we've decided to go for somebody who has scored how many goals in the Premier League so far, in the Ghana Premier League so far? Somebody who can't even run. I think in the second game...
So the top scorer in the Ghana Premier League is Mizaka Fiye Brekum, 7 goals. Kofi Koji, I'm trying to confirm the number of goals that he has scored for Legon Cities FC this season.
Is it 1? I think 1 also. Check for me. But I think at this time round, I'm talking about the second, we got our selection right. So if you go through the list of players that played the first game that we played against Madagascar, it was Danlad Ibrahim, Augustine Randolph, who made a mistake leading to the second goal that we conceded. Then it's Nkrumah Kosa, Kuneri Yadom, Solomon Adomakun, Razak Kasim, David Abagna Sandam, Dominic Insobila, Glasson Awako, Daniel Friebani, and Razak Yusuf. These are the players who played and in the first match that we played against Madagascar. But in the second half, there were some substitutions. Then versus Sudan, we had Danlad Ibrahim, Solomon Adomakun, Kuneri Yadom, Augustine Japan, Denis Kosa Nkrumah, Sylvester Simba, David Abagna Sandam, Dominic Insobila, Jonah Tukui, and Kofi Koji, and Daniel Friebani. So what it means is that from our first game to the second game that we played, we made as many as 4 changes to our starting 11.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 changes to our starting 11. So we brought Augustine Japan, Sylvester Simba, Jonah Tukui, and Kofi Koji in the second game. And we took out Augustine Randolph, Glasson Awako, Razak Yusuf.
Was injured anyway.
Yeah, Razak Yusuf and Razak Kasim. These are the 4 players that went out. I think that we got some extent our selection right. My problem with the Galaxy so far is that in defense, I think that we are still struggling in defense. Yes, I don't think that the partnership between Adomakun and Yadom has come very good for us in this competition. It has not come good for us in this competition. So it's as if they've not played for a very long time, and because of that understanding of the position of one person from the other, or how to go in for the tackles, who to go for the tackles, who to go for the area ball and things like that, it's still missing in the way they play so far. Then in midfield, I think that the midfield so far has been one of the few areas that I can say we've been able to improve. So the Simba guy, the Abagna, and the other guys who came to midfield for me did so well in a game against Sudan. But up front, there's still a problem.
Okay.
We get a ball, and it's as if we don't know what to do with the ball.
We are not incisive up front.
Yeah, we don't know what to do with the ball. Free Banier, Kofi Koji, and the other guys up front, for me, they need to up their game a little. Because the tournament, I've seen a lot of countries in the tournament, and I can tell you for a fact, Steve, that some of them are very, 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 very good. Okay. Some of the teams that I've seen so far.
Yeah, Libya really convinced me, even Algeria, the host nation.
Yes. Some of the teams that I've seen so far have played very, very, very good football. So we need to improve our game to make sure that at least we win the tournament. It's not about prayers, it's not about just hoping, it's about getting the right mindset, getting the right selection, and getting the right game plan and strategy so that at least we can move on in the competition.
Okay, so you are right. Kofi Goji has scored only one goal this season in the Ghana Premier League. It was even a penalty.
He scored one goal
against Kotoko Royals, 21st December 2022.
He scored one goal, yes.
In the Ghana Premier League. And have you do you share this view that Barnier should not have been taken to the tournament?
No, I think that he should have been there. He must be there.
Yeah.
He must be there.
Because look, we are human beings. No, realistically, he has signed a pre-contract with FC Zurich.
But that's to be expected. I mean, he's, whether we like it or not, I mean, leave him here to do what? Play for Hasselhoff? Because if he had not been in Algeria, he'd still be playing for Hasselhoff.
Or maybe, I mean, he will be in Switzerland.
No.
The contract would have taken effect.
No, but he still has a contract with Hasselhoff.
Yeah, in 1 month. It was because they wanted him to play the CHAN. So I'm saying that if this deal came on board before he renewed his contract with Accra, or contextually before he decided to renew his contract with Accra and play the CHAN, maybe he should have forgotten about the CHAN and then move straight to Switzerland and let's move on.
But that's not going to be the first time. I think at the other time, Nuhu Adams gave us examples of players who have signed pre-contracts with some clubs and still played at the CHAN tournament and moved on to play for their clubs after the CHAN competition. That's true. It's not the first time that's happening. No, that's happening. Let me put it that way. And for me, whether we like it or not, he's one fine player. Yeah, he's a very, very good player. I mean, we've seen him play for House of Hope to the extent that he even made a list to Qatar with the Black Stars for the World Cup. So he's a very good player, and leave him here. Still has a contract with House of Folk for him to play for us and not the Black Alliances or for Ghana. I think that it's a good decision. What I'm expecting him to do is to get over what he, and then he's a human being, and sometimes some of the decisions or some of these things are very difficult things to do. I mean, you have a contract with FC Zurich, which you move on to after the competition. Tournament. So you're going for those hard tackles. Exactly. You run around, you know, pick up an injury here and there, but once he has a contract, he has a contract. So even if he gets injured or not, he's still an FC Zurich player. So I don't know if the team has a psychologist who can talk to him. In the first game, for me, he was completely off. I was also very happy with his body language, with this gum and chewing gum, and his body language is massa, experience, above you, above everybody in the team, attitude that he put up in the first game that we played against Madagascar. But I think in the second game, he was very good. Unfortunately, got a red card. Yeah, we are going to miss him. If Ghana should make it to the next stage of the competition, we are going to miss him. But in his absence, I think that, just like Chris said, I think we have some very good players. There were two guys who came on in the second half. I think that he's also very good. Yeah, good player. He played very well. And for me, on any given day, I was starting ahead of Kofi Koji. Okay, so that was Javier Clemente with his take on the CHAN tournament so far in Algeria. Ghana will be waiting for that clash between Sudan and Madagascar on Monday at 7 p.m. To know whether we are going to top the group or place second in Group C in there. But I have this message from Kekusi Joseph Besias. He says the teaming followers of the Porcupine fraternity should outrightly reject the sarcastic apology from referee Frank Akumate. It is abundantly clear that he seeks to wreak havoc on Kotoko. Why should a referee award two obvious, wrongful penalties against the team? Yes, Akumate has apologized. What is the position of Viviane Gosa, CEO, who stood solidly behind Akumate? All right, thank you very much for coming through with your comment. K. Kusi, Joseph Besiase. You're still live on your super station, Love 99.5 FM. The program is kick off. We need to talk about the MTN FA Cup competition. Yeah. Because later today at 6 p.m., Benab FC will be playing Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Joel, you can show us the pictures of the Benab FC players training ahead of this particular clash. It happens at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium tonight at 6 p.m. That game will be played and floodlight in there. So yeah, we look forward to that particular game. Kotoko versus Bibiani Goals Benab FC in the MTN FA Cup competition. Yes, so if you join us on Facebook at LEV 99.5 FM, yes, the players of Benab FC training very well for this particular encounter. So this was at the Padio Sports Stadium, I think on Thursday.
So you join us on Facebook for the pictures and videos of the Bernab FC players training ahead of this particular one. They want to stand Asante Kotoko today at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. I've got tickets for you, about 20 of them. So you can stay right here on the Super Station Love 99.5 FM. You are trying to raise the operations manager of Bernab FC on the telephone and speak to him on this particular encounter. But certainly, this should be a walk in the path for Asante Kotoko.
But Kotoko have struggled. If you go through the history of Kotoko with some of these lower division clubs, yes, Asquad Deportivo and some of these teams, go through the history of Kotoko, especially with the FA Cup. They've struggled with some of these things. So you have to be very careful.
Anyway, but this is Division 2.
It doesn't matter. But the point I'm making is that Kotoko have some years back have struggled with some of these Division 1, Division 2 teams in the FA Cup. Especially in the FA Cup. They get the points against Kotoko. Either at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium or even when you go to Obuasi and Clay Sports Stadium when Kotoko used to play there. So it's sort of a foregone conclusion. They have to be very careful. At least they have the benefit of hindsight. They know that some years back they struggled with some of these teams, so that should guide them in their game against Bernab FC.
Anyway, so we've got ticket for you for this particular game, Kotoko versus Bernab FC at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium at 6 p.m. today. I don't know whether we should open the phone lines for whoever. I'll let Felix put across his phone number, so then you send him a text on WhatsApp and then he's going to forward you digitally the ticket for this particular game. But you're still live on the Super Station Love 99.5 FM. The program is kick-off. Apart from Asante Kotoko versus Bernab FC, we've got Dreams FC versus Accra Heart of Folk, and then Great Olympics will be playing Legon Cities FC. So I'm going through the fixtures for the MTN FA Cup competition this weekend, and to the other fixtures coming up, we've got Steadfast FC versus STK Stars in there. But for Kotoko will be playing Aduana Star. That's going to be another interesting game. Kotoku Royals versus Kotoku Royals versus Nzema Kotoko. Accra Great Olympics versus Legon Cities FC. Wa Powers SC versus Debibi United. I love the interesting name this competition comes with anyway. Volta Rangers FC will be playing Crystal Palace. And then, like I mentioned, we've got Asante Kotoko versus Bernab FC. Kickoff is 6 p.m. Tickets are being sold online. *711#. You can dial *711# and purchase your ticket online at 50 Ghana cedis, 30 cedis, and 20 Ghana cedis. Let me try and then connect with this gentleman. I've been told that he's the operations manager for Bernab FC. I just want to hear from them what exactly they have been doing throughout the week in preparation for this particular encounter at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium today at 6 p.m. But have you got Dreams FC versus Accra the Folk too?
That's the biggest one, That's the biggest, because Dreams are also playing very, very, very good football. They are doing so well this season, so well this season, and for them to have impaired against us for a team which is also doing very well, it's going to be very interesting. The thing about the FA Cup, mostly if you look at the fixtures for outside of the world and the foreign side of the world, you realize that, the fixtures are such that at the end of the day, some of the big teams leave, and before you realize, left with some of the so-called smaller teams, and they have to compete at the final. So if you have Hearts of Oak and Dreams play, then definitely either House of Folk or Dreams FC are going to drop. And these are two big clubs, especially when you look at the Betpower Premier League this season. They are doing so well in the league. So that's one thing with the FA Cup.
So, Avi, let's go to the phone lines and speak to the operations manager of Bernab FC. I just want to know exactly what they have been doing throughout the week as part of preparation for their game against Asante Kotoko. This perhaps will be their biggest fixture on the local scene for the past 5 years or so. Bernab FC against Asante Kotoko. And if they win over Kotoko, it will be a major shock. Let's go to the phone lines now. Andy, put him through and let's talk to him. Hello, good morning. Okay, so let's move on to the next item on the program. We had wanted to establish contact with the operations manager of Bernab FC, but it appears he's not picking. So Javier, let's move on. But a lot of people have been, blasting Kofi Koji on my console this morning. Yeah, people are saying that he didn't really play well for the Black Galaxies against Sudan. So I was very, very disappointed in the performance of Kofi Koji last time out against Sudan. I'm just hoping that he'll be able to recover that doubt now that Afriye Bane is out of the Afriye Bane is not out of the competition yet, because we don't know where you're going to reach anyway. We have virtually qualified to the next stage of the competition, but we are waiting for that game between Sudan and Madagascar on Monday at 7 p.m. in there. So yeah, I mean, people are blasting Kofi Koji in there. Andy, let's pick phone calls now and let's begin to share the ticket for this particular game, Asante Kotoko versus Bernab FC. We are also streaming live on Facebook at LEV 99.5 FM. In a moment, I will be going through your messages. So call us now on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, 03220-83598 on the performance of the Black Galaxies in Algeria in the Chan tournament, and Kotoko versus Bernab FC today at the Baba Yawa Sports Stadium in the MTN FA Cup competition. Huh? We are on air. So you were talking about the Black Galaxies. Javier has touched on that. We are going to the phone lines in a moment. I don't know whether you want to ask something on the Black Galaxies before we pick the calls.
If you don't have a caller now, I don't think that performance has been good at all. Zado, to be very honest, I think it has been bad, and I think that if you want to describe how our league has been, whether good or not, then the performance of the Black Galaxies is a description of that. And I think that's exactly what it is. If you have good players in your league and they play together, there is cohesion, they play on good pitches, it will be telling when they go for competitions like this. Everything tells like that our league is not there yet, and our players showed it. There was no cohesion, nothing. And sometimes I feel that there was some complacency at the back from our centre backs, and that nearly resulted in us losing the game. We went down by a goal to 0. Although after all of this is said and done, we were very good in terms of coming back and the recovery to be able to go ahead and win the game. So yes, I think that generally it's good that we've qualified, but the performance wasn't good. I don't think with this performance we can go very far in this competition.
Oh really?
Yeah, unless something drastic.
But
change.
we can improve.
That's what I'm saying. But with that performance, I don't think we can go far unless
we have always been slow started. That's what they say.
I just think that just people always finding reasons to circumvent.
We can
issues.
improve anyway. Just like we improve against Sudan.
When was the last time we were slow starters? Well, the last time we started slow, we were out of the AFCON and then the World Cup. How long are we going to continue to be slow starters? You understand? So yeah, but I mean, I don't think it was good enough. I don't think
it wasn't good.
Yeah,
Kofi Koji.
Jesus Christ. See, why is Mishak not in the team?
He's the top scorer at the moment in the Ghana Premier League.
Yes, and then Kofi Koji is in the team. And somebody the last time made a very good argument about profile of the player. I mean, you did, but this profile is not doing the job that the profile has to do. Hold that play, bring other players into play. You can't do it.
He can't do that.
Like Kofi cannot run,
and he wants to sprint.
I'm sorry
on the touch line.
I'm sorry, but Kofi's performance against Sudan was not good enough at all. He cannot run. He can't run. Like, maybe he's not well conditioned. Maybe he's not fit. But Kofi can't run. Yes, he's a big striker. Sometimes you need him to be there for you to play the long balls to him. But I didn't see any of that. He didn't add anything to it. I think we are better off playing with Suraj and Jonah Atukwe and other inverted wingers as attackers. That one will help us. But with Daniel Afriye going off, I don't know if, again, we'll start with Kofi Koji in our next game. It is not good enough to have Kofi Koji. I think that we did a very good job by changing the midfield composition and makeup in that game, and also sorting out our fullback issue. So Abagna and then Nsobila were very good in the middle of the park. Nsobila was able to screen the back line well, helped in ball progression at the back. He did a very good job at that. Abagna was a very good creator in front of him. But when you go up top, even when Simba did a very good job as well. He was very aggressive on and off the ball, won us some good balls as well. But my problem is with the attack, Kofi Koji and then Yadom. Yadom, whilst he's a good centre back and young at his age, I think he was very complacent in this game.
Yadom.
Yeah, he's a better player than what we've seen. I mean, thumbs up to Danlad Ibrahim, but then Yadom.
Oh, that last minute save.
Yeah, Danlad was.
I think virtually he was my man of the match anyway. But I mean, Abagna won the man of the match.
Danlad was stellar. Japan was stellar too. Also, but I don't know. Just before you go, Steve, there's this lecturer in KN University was listening to us in the morning.
Okay.
And I think he was listening to us about the Juventus issue. And he said he's using that to teach the students now. So just when he started his lecture, he asked the student, were you listening to Love in this morning?
Wow.
Love FM this morning.
Wow.
About the Juventus
So
issue.
he enjoyed the proper education.
When I spoke to him, he said generally that is called creative accounting.
Creative accounting, just like Javier mentioned. Anyway, Javier the most experienced. Don't go there.
So he said he enjoyed it.
Javier Clemente.
Fumi fans, unnecessary fans this morning.
Oh, but you know be unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
Javier.
Fans must come with something.
No, you have given us proper education this morning.
You owe me something,
Javier Clemente.
Your man.
Javier Clemente. This thing should be discussed off air. You have given us proper education that is being used to teach students at KU.
No. He has his style of. He has his material. That's what I said is what I know. He also knows what he's teaching.
And what he said is a fact. That's why the lecturer is even making reference to your submission this morning. Let's move on to the phone line. Danny, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Patricia listening to you this morning. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry for
back
waiting.
Again. Should we always make case for the local Black Stars, the Galaxy? Should we make case for them?
Why not?
Why should we make case for them with this kind of performances exhibited at Algeria? Very, very poor performance. Listen, I've watched Mr. Andrews Ade playing, Mr. AKA player, your producer. I've watched him play. He can play better than a free Barney.
Oh, but Andy is not a professional player. You too. I mean, this is below.
I don't know why. I don't know what player is doing there. At least you would have let his boot to join this Galaxy because I say Barney and Kofi Koji. Oh, come on,
Danny.
Ghana,
so you didn't see anything good
so these were,
with the Galaxies?
So these were the players that we were, praying that they should be selected to the Black Stars. Oh, hell no.
Thank you very much, Daniel from Impasetia. 0322083596, 0322083597, 0322083598. When you call us and you are interested in that particular game between Benab FC and Asante Kotoko, tell us. We'll give you free ticket to go and watch the game. We are sharing 20 tickets this morning, and this is in support of our campaign. The hashtag Field GPS Centers in support of our campaign from the National Sports Authority Ashanti region to support our campaign to boost attendance at the various stadia in this country. Christophe, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Stephen Zando. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Mr. Christophe. I hope you're fine too.
And my friend, Javier Clemente, I hope you're fine.
The most experienced.
Good.
Yes, I'm a guy for Javier. You say yes, I want to say that if I compare the first match against Madagascar with Sudan, I think Sudan game was a bit better, but I can see that Sudan, their players are full of Al Hilal. You know that Al Hilal is one of the champions in Africa in terms of CAF champions and all that. So for us to play with them and with this kind of performance, I think our boys did well. But what we need is an advanced version of what they did. But they can run, they can jump, but they are not utilizing such pieces. And you see that Kofi Koji didn't play the first game against Madagascar, and he played against Sudan. He's good, but just maybe after playing 45 minutes, then you take him off. Or maybe you bring him in the 60th minute or something so that he can play. Because he's very bulky, and then age is also catching up with him. So with a little, running there, he looks tired. But I love the way he was picking up with defenders of Sudan. That notwithstanding, I think that we got a good chance. If we can work on our weaknesses, inshallah, I believe we can go far.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Christophe. Let's move on to Jordan. Jordan, good morning. Hello, Jordan. Hello. Jordan, are you there? Hello. Hey. Bunny. Bandy, you told me it is Jordan on the line.
It's a Jordan, but now it's not do it take me to so it's a Jordan. Jordan line is not good.
Okay, so you have taken over now, Bunny.
Oh no, now they tell me I'm a jumping. Yeah, jumping.
And is that how we say it in English?
I'm a jumping. That's Bunny.
Ebony. Ebony, I hope you are fine.
Oh, by God, everything is cool, and you and your crew.
Oh, we are also good, Ebony.
You are tango. Uh-huh. Today, so you and your crew you work hard to love your family listeners. So I'm here today for a discussion for sports.
Thank you.
Yeah. So God protect you everything for me.
Amen.
Everything you and your crew you like for this, and God give you big more and more.
Okay. So let's hear you.
Okay, tomorrow is a Hasbrook play against Dreams FC. It's a MTF Cup, so Hasbrook go to massacre them for a hands down to win. So if Hasbrook fan play for a team for score tomorrow to beat Dreams FC, and then to this afternoon, Arsenal and then this job is a cool job for Arsenal. So Arsenal go to beat Man U for 3-0.
Ebony.
Boss,
say everything that you have said in tree.
Young boy, to have the fruit. You need Dreams FC. My match, I have 3 points, and I know my Arsenal in my use, my you bought Arsenal. Arsenal bought my you. Water.
That game is tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
4:30.
Okay. And then I'm watching the Arsenal. Arsenal my you
Everybody didn't talk about Kotoko versus Benab FC.
Why?
Kotoko versus Benab. Exactly, Babu. You know Benab is a football club, Division 2 club.
A child team. A child team.
As you say.
There's a one on your form.
Ebony. Okay, let's move on to the next one. 0322083596. 0322083597. Ebony is still on. Oh, sorry, Ebony. Oh, I was going to ask Ebony this last question. Hello, good morning. Hello, Abri.
Good morning.
I hope you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, let's say your name.
Yeah, for me, the Black Galaxy, we are praying for them so that they can even qualify for the semi-finals. Do well. They should go to even the finals. The Algerians, we can beat them. We will beat the Algerians. And also, I have to talk tomorrow. We are going to play tomorrow. Yes, we will beat Dreams of FC. We will beat them. And then after, we will know what to do. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming through your comments. Let me move on to Isaiah. Isaiah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're fine.
I'm fine, sir.
Let's hear your name.
To me, I want to say my thought on the Black Galaxy.
Okay.
So if anyone is having an worker number, she should tell him that if he wants to go further, then he has to tell the player that all the time they have to always be feeding a Japan balls, because she's the person so far. He has been creating more chances. Look at the first game we had. He decided to make a difference for us to be proud of. And back to Kotoko and the other teams this evening.
Benab.
They are going to score Kotoko for them to know that they are not having a team.
So
we asking you Heart of Oak fans across the world. Thank you.
I know where you are coming from. Thank you very much. Let me try and pick the last caller. Jordan, good morning.
Good morning, Zando.
Jordan, I hope you're fine.
Over Grace, I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm okay. Jordan, you are my last caller.
Oh, okay. I want to say that my life is not good. I'll come and see him.
Jordan.
I want to talk about it. I heard Abiy and then Fifi Manfred. The way they talk about Chelsea. And the issue is that, Chelsea, they have the quality, but we don't have a coach. The Chelsea are supporting with my heart, but now they are broken because the body did to maybe he's not good enough to handle Chelsea.
Thank you very much. That's according to Jordan. This is where we are going to end today's show. Thank you very much for staying with us in your Superstation Love 99.5. And but before that, Felix, your phone number once again.
0549.
So if you're interested in that game between Benab FC and Asante Kotoko at 6 p.m. today at the Babayara Sports Stadium, send him a text on WhatsApp. He's going to send you a ticket digitally for you to go and watch that game. So your WhatsApp number
0549 752378. 0549 752378.
Thank you very much, Felix, and to you, Javier, Clemente, and Fifi Manfred, for coming through this morning. My name is Stephen Zando. Let's cross over to Joy 99.7 FM for news.